Hello, I'm Dynast Amir.
So I reached out to another friend of mine. I said, look, I need to go on vacation somewhere. Where should I go? He said, go to Africa. And not only am I going to go, I'm going to explore a new country. So I went to Tanzania, South Africa, Namibia, Mali, Senegal, Morocco, Liberia, Namibia, Kenya, the Voodoo Festival in Ouida, Gambia, Togo, Cote d'Ivoire. Sierra Leone, Ghana, Nigeria. It's been a beautiful experience, just learning more about our culture, our indigenous culture. So Uhuru means freedom in Swahili. I'm in search of my roots. In finding that, I would experience my Uhuru, which is freedom.
Till next time, Dynast Amir, I'm out.
Peace, family. I hope all is well. Listen, I hope your Monday. Hope your Monday is going well, guys. Do me a favor, hit that like button again. Please hit the like button. Also, make sure you share. Also, you make sure you subscribe to the content. Again, make sure you subscribe to the content. Do me a favor, hit the like button. Hit the like button as you come to the chat room. Y'all should be doing that anyways. I mean, y'all should be hitting the like button off rip, as the young folks say. Or do the young folks still say that? Or we used to say that when I was young. Whatever. Yeah, hit the like button. Also, make sure you share and make sure you subscribe to the platform if you are new. Again, if you are new and you're just joining, make sure you subscribe to the platform, family. Need y'all to subscribe. Listen, if you have not bought the documentary, In Search of Uhuru, again, if you have not bought the documentary In Search of Uhuru, please go to searchforuhuru.com. Please go to searchforuhuru.com. Again, go to searchforuhuru.com and buy the documentary. If you're watching this and if you have not bought the documentary, I need you to go buy the documentary. Okay. Don't give me well, I will here in a second or I will tomorrow. Listen, go and buy the documentary. If you're not buy the documentary, also share the documentary. Also set up a viewing party. I mean, if y'all got friends, that you trying to, kind of, get them off the edge of their seat or get them off their seat to get them to go to Africa, have them buy the documentary, have them watch it. And listen, if you are in Atlanta and if you want to set up like a viewing party, like on a Saturday or something, like, hey, Dynast, I got the documentary, I got my family members, here, and we want to have a viewing party. Listen, I'll come. I'll pull up. I will pull up if you are in Atlanta. Okay, and if hey, Dynast, listen, I got the documentary, Dynast, and I got my family members over here, and I'll pull up. Just have some food. As long as you got some good food, I'll be there. You're gonna feed me. you know, again, you're gonna feed me. Shout out to Luce Tafari. Documentary is dope. Shout out to Juanita. Documentary is I got my doc and watch. Great documentary. Thank you. But like I said, I'll say it again. If you are in the Atlanta area and you're like, listen, Dynast, we got the documentary, got some friends and family over here. Yeah, buy the documentary 3 times like I did. Shout out to Delina, man. Listen, shout out to Delina, everyone, for buying the documentary 3 times. Listen, I'll pull up in Atlanta. I'll pull up if you're in Atlanta. Yeah, so just let me know. But again, hit the like button, share, and subscribe. All my beautiful Black people. Again, go to searchforuhuru.com. Searchforuhuru.com to buy the documentary, family. All right, tours. Listen, tours. We are rolling to Senegal in May for the jazz festival in Senegal, in St. Louis. Again, we're rolling to Senegal in May for better have some good food for me. If I'm pulling up, y'all better have some good food. All right, go to search for who. Go to donfo.africa. Go to donfo.africa to learn more about the travel. Click on travel, and then, like I said, the itinerary for next year we're traveling to. That's up. Also, the countries where we're going to is up. So if you're interested in joining, again, if you're interested in joining, you're more than welcome to join us on one of our tours. So again, Senegal, May 21st through the 30th, I believe the dates are. All the information is at donfo.africa. We would love to have you join us in Africa on one of the tours. Taking a group next month to Sierra Leone. Listen, we're about 3 weeks away. We are about 3 weeks away. Shout out to Information Man Show for the super chat. Thank you, brother. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Much respect. Shout out to Information Man Show. We're about 3 weeks away to our Sierra Leone trip. And listen, we got some folks. We got about 20 folks who are going to be getting their Sierra Leone passports. Again, we got about 20 folks who are going to be getting their Sierra Leonean passports. This right here, bam. Got mine back in January 2021. Hey, Alan, I was going to bring that up. I don't think they brought the term their son, daughter, son. I don't know the correct term, but their biological son, who I guess is transitioning. I didn't see him. Yeah, I didn't see him. Okay, him. That's a biological boy. I did not see him in Ghana with them. I just saw excuse me. I just saw Dwayne Wade holding up the baby. So yeah. So y'all, again, come and join us in Sierra Leone and in Senegal. Next month. Come and join us. All right, let's jump into today's topic. Go to donfo.africa. Let's jump into today's topic. Today's topic, Akon. Akon has Akon Lighting Africa, which, from my understanding, was a great, it was a success. He brought light, electricity to to a number of underprivileged areas and countries in Africa. Yeah, he also has Akon City, which he said, I think the first structure in the Akon City will be up by, I think, 2026. Again, 2026. Which, from my understanding, what I was told, there's been some, and I could be wrong, but there's been some land disputes in regards to the guys. I'm looking something up real quick. Here we go. This is the video I want to pull up. Let me get back focused. But yeah, so I guess there were some land disputes in regards to the land that I believe the government had given, that Akon had bought from the government, allegedly. Again, allegedly. Now, Akon has came out and said that he actually bought the land. So I guess the argument, or what people, or what was shared or told, that the government gave that land to him, isn't necessarily the case from what Akon has said. And he said that the first building should be up by 2026. So I'm looking forward to that. But Akon did an interview a couple years back, in which he said, people should come to Africa and build businesses, and they could build a Fortune 500 like business within 10 years. And so I'm going to play that interview real quick.
Are in a position in life where you feel like you don't own your own content, you don't own anything, and they should be investing in us. This is the opportunity now to be able to own that in which we're complaining about. Because in Africa, it's a clean slate. You can build that empire there. You can build that infrastructure there. And you already got the information. You're already educated on how to do it, because we've done it here and made billions of dollars for corporations all day. Africa is the only place in the world where Black people can go and build Fortune 500 companies from scratch within 5 years.
It'd be like China, easily.
No, seriously. And this took them hundreds of years to build. You can build it now within 5 years. Yeah. China took that same, mind state 25 years ago. China was no different from Africa 25 years ago. Go to China now. Look at Dubai, the Middle East. They just started 15 years ago and started building the same concept.
I'm kind of me just want to be 100%. I understand what you exactly mean. So you're saying that Africa right now. So how can Africa be the new China? How can we say that? So
Black people,
for all our Black people, yes.
Go back to Africa.
Okay.
Whatever you're doing here, do it there. Whether it's real estate, entertainment, education,
sneaker company,
whatever,
clothing line,
whatever.
Start it there.
Do it there. Don't even start it. Do it there. It's gonna grow out of there anyway. But Africa's big enough you won't ever have to need no other country anyway. Think about it. Everything you do is in America.
Hot in Africa.
No, you don't.
Well, it depends on you.
Africa's the second biggest continent in the world. Africa. It's over 1 billion people.
Who's the biggest continent? Europe. Who's the biggest continent?
Well, it's continent and country.
Asia is the biggest continent.
Asia, that's then China, Africa. Korea.
It's all them,
Russia,
India, all them put together though.
Right.
That makes Asia.
Right.
And it's not that much bigger than Africa. And Africa's the second biggest continent.
Wow. With more natural resources as well.
With all the natural resources. Right. That's the difference. So we literally got a pot of gold and nobody even going for it.
Exploited by outsiders.
So how do we start this? How do we start to say, you know what? Let's invest back in the motherland. Let's
I think the key is, first of all, you got to release the fear, because a lot of, African Americans are afraid to go to Africa.
No, because I'm not gonna lie.
Which I mean, actually,
I was offered so many shows to Africa. Mm-hmm. I'll be honest. And then they told me I could get shots, and I was like, I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd never actually been to Africa because I didn't want to get the shots. I didn't know they injecting shit in me. But I was scared. This is back in the day.
That's why I said you got to release the fear.
Gotta release the fear.
You have to, because first of all, only white people need shots to go to Africa. Black people don't need no shots to go to Africa.
But why is that even a rumor that you need shots to go to Africa?
I mean, it's fear. The same way they told you AIDS started in Africa.
Wow.
You could die from malaria. They're telling you all this stuff. None of that stuff is real.
Wow.
You know, they tell you, well, you go to Africa, you gotta take, shots, and you gotta take like 5 or 6 different, types of shots to save you from this, save you from that, save you from this.
Why does that rumor even exist, though?
I mean, because they know the value of Black people going back home. Can you just imagine if African Americans in America decided, you know what, man, fuck America, we going back home, and then all the value that we bring here, we took over there. America wouldn't exist no more.
Bob Liv, Zumanda.
None of that would work. Think about it. Just imagine, man. All the major ball players left, started their own team back home. All the major recording artists left, started their own labels back home. Just imagine, just those 2 sectors. We're not talking about all the inventors that never got the credit for all the shit that they inventing, like cell phones and all that Black people invented. You would never even know. All these software companies that's taking, you have no idea. Like, we don't even know how much value we even have. We have no idea. Just imagine if we just woke up one day.
I gotta wake up with you.
Paul.
So should Akon take his business to Africa and be done with it? You have to take your passport to show that you took the necessary shots. No, you don't. I mean, this is how it works. So you do have to have proof of COVID. Okay, now I take that back. I'm sorry. I take that back. You do have to have proof of COVID vaccine for the most part if you don't want to be tested. So if you don't want to be tested and pay for additional testing in a lot of these countries in Africa, you do have to have proof of COVID shot, depending on the country, to enter, depending where you're coming from. But when you're in these countries, the majority of these countries now have made it, because of the United States of America, that when you return to America, you don't have to take a COVID test. Again, it depends on the country. But this was shot before COVID. So when it comes to like, your let me cover this up, your yellow fever vaccine and all that, they really don't check for it. And if they do check for it, they'll just give you a card at the airport. But I promise you, they're not checking. Listen, I travel all the time. They're not checking for the yellow fever vaccine card. Again, they're not checking for the yellow fever vaccine card from traveling between African country and African country. Primarily now, they just want to check. They want to check to see if you have your man, mine is all beat up now. Hold on, let me cover some of my information. There you go. Here we go. They just want to check to see if you have your COVID situation. But even if you don't have your COVID situation, you're just subjected to additional testing. That's it. So you could technically travel without proof of COVID, but you just have to take additional tests, which is additional time, which is more money. So yeah. Yeah, so but should Akon, they check for yellow fever card at Sierra Leone embassy for your visa? No, you can get visa on arrival with Sierra Leone. You get visa on arrival. They don't check for it with visa on arrival. Yeah, I haven't. I mean, I have a Nigerian passport now, but even before I got my ECOWAS passports, like when I sent off for my visas, they never asked for proof of yellow fever. I've just been asked. So like for Mali, Benin, and the first time I went to Nigeria, like they asked for your banking statements. They wanted to see how much money you had in your bank account, which is crazy, but hey, that's what they wanted. But outside of that, I've never been asked for my visas. I've never been asked to provide proof of yellow fever. Only time I've been asked for yellow fever, and it depends on the country, when I'm flying in between African countries. And even then, if you get to the African country, you don't have it, you just pay them and then they'll give you a yellow fever card. So it's really not that serious. So yeah. Oh, you said at the border? Well, if you have an ECOWAS like, do you have an ECOWAS passport? You have a Guinea passport? Because when you have your ECOWAS passport, they weren't checking for that yellow fever stuff. And I travel border to border by road as well. So listen, links in the chat room. Should Kanye? Yeah. So you got a U.S. passport. That's why. If you got an ECOWAS passport, they're not asking for it. All right, links in the chat room. If you want to add to the conversation, again, if you want to add to the conversation, you're more than welcome to call in and add to the convo. Again, you're more than welcome to call in and add to the convo if you want to call in and add to the conversation. Should Kanye West say, you know what? I'm done with the West. I'm sorry, Ye. Should Ye? I apologize. Should Ye? Like he said, it's the, calling Muhammad Ali Cassius Clay. Should Ye build in Africa, move on, and build in Africa? Go ahead, Caesar.
Hey, man, great. This is a great topic. So I was going to say, obviously, you should build in Africa, right? This is common sense. Even just if you look off of money, even if you don't care about Africa, just off money, yes, you get better value for your dollar to build in Africa. But he's not going to. And even if he does, it won't be in good faith. Kanye, as much as I like him, I think he's addicted. Charlemagne said this, academics said he's addicted to white validation. He's really obsessed with impressing white people.
As if they're not.
And that's fair. That's fair. Charlemagne, yeah, you're right. They're also obsessed with it. But I would say
same thing.
Compared to like the Pan-African space, like you, for example, I don't see you. There's an obsession that he has with making white people like, oh, I can do this, and making white people like, he likes the fact that white people are buying his shoes. And that's cool. A lot of us do. But for him to build in Africa, right? He's not interested. Like, what if white people don't buy his shoes? Do you think that will encourage him? Like, I don't think he's going to be happy building it because of his psychosis, building for other black people. He wants white people to wear his shoes. He wants white people, like, if you've seen how he's marketing himself now, he's marketing himself as a American. He wants to be known as Walt Disney, Einstein, as an American hero in America. And he's doing whatever, saying whatever to get that. He won't get the end. His wife, you think Kim wants to go to Uganda? Do you see the pictures of Kim in Uganda?
I've seen some of them. I didn't see all of them. I saw a couple.
Man, Kim don't want to go to Uganda? Come on, man. Kim didn't even want to go to Wyoming. She does not want to go to Uganda. She wants to stay in LA. He has songs talking about it. So he's not going to Uganda because Kim doesn't want to be in Uganda. So that's the end of that.
Yeah, because there's a certain group. The reason why I say that in regards to, Charlemagne and your boy academics being full of it when they say that, there's a certain group that Kanye's been calling out that Charlemagne and them definitely won't go there. So
no, yeah, you're onto something. They have handlers.
Yeah, they definitely not going there with that protected group. So let's hear Alex B. Go ahead, Alex B.
Hey, how's it going? Caesar pretty much made a very good point. He was speaking all facts when he talked about Kanye wanting white validation and talking about how Kim is not gonna go because she's not gonna go to Uganda, and he's all about Kim. Aside from that, should Kanye go to Uganda? Yes, he should. Will he go to Uganda? No, he won't. And even if he did go to Uganda, how would it look? Like, how exactly would he set up the factory? Like, what kind of technology would he use? Like, where would he get the technology from to set up a manufacturing company that makes clothing? Like, where exactly? If you could bring up a country that would supply him the kind of manufacturing he needs, like, where exactly would he get it from? If you could think of a country.
South Africa, maybe.
Yeah, I could see that.
Nigeria,
Okay, a textile factory.
South
Okay,
Africa.
I'm asking because Akon, like you gave Akon as an example of what Kanye should be doing, but Akon is working with Chinese people, and he's getting loans from Chinese companies to build his his whatever you want to call it, what is it, Akon City, or the hotels he's building and whatnot, and he's getting mad criticism. Yeah, he's getting a lot of criticism for doing that from black people, because in their minds they think we shouldn't be working with anybody else who's non-African or non-black, but in reality a lot of the corporations you have to work with are non-black, to get international distribution, you know aside from the expertise. But if he did go to Africa, it'll be a good thing. He'll provide employment and whatnot, but he probably still wouldn't escape the criticism because he would still be working with non-black people. And not only that, but like he's pissed off so many different people that, like, how would he work with companies outside of Africa to distribute his
He
clothing?
can. He can. He can.
Man, he's
He
pissed off
can.
Jewish people. He talked about Chinese people. All I'm waiting for Kanye to do is bring up
But
Muhammad.
Alex, I would tell you this
But
about Chinese people. Like Chinese people are more about their money. So
yeah, you're right.
unless he just
But
says something completely out of pocket, I think
yeah,
Chinese people will move
I was
on.
about to say all I'm waiting for him to do is say something negative about Muhammad, and you know how the Muslim people be about him. So Kanye is not a thing about free speech. You know what I mean? You can say what you want, but the people you piss off might affect your bottom line.
No. Go ahead, earn leisure. Go ahead.
Hey, good afternoon, Diners. How's everybody doing today? Good.
Everybody's good.
All right, Alex. And Alex B's right, and this is why I think I don't think Kanye will go to Uganda, but this is where the builder mindset versus just the average tourist or sex tourist like some of them passport bros. That's how you have to separate the men from the pack. Like what Diners is doing, what O'Shea Du Jackson, College Genesis, Lou Major. I don't know what happened with him for a while, but the builders.
Yeah, no, he ain't doing nothing.
Okay, but anyway, the builders are a good breed for Africa. Kanye can do that. He can go to Uganda, and he can work with. He can get the technologies, which you will have to get for Western countries. But Nigeria has that capability to provide the majority of technologies to West Africa. Kenya and East and South Africa, we know, is on top of that. And this is where builders come in, but I think what Kanye is, and Alex B's right, or I think it was Caesar Alex B said, Kanye West is looking for some white validation because black people are just not rocking with him. And secretly, they're just casting him aside. He could do it, but he's not. And I think you need to stop paying attention to criticism and comments. Because Africa, one thing about Africa, they don't care about what you say about them or what you do. You can say all the racist crap about them, like Nigerians will say, okay, well, what about our money? What you say is one thing. Tell us what you're going to do. Because you could tell Nigeria, oh, did you hear what Trump said?
I understand he said that about a crapple, but I come from a place that's crapple. That's why I want to make my money and go over there and build. What are you doing? You worry about the jet and
Pro down. So
Hold on, did you just flip accents on this guy? That was a totally different person.
Yeah, no. This guy told me, he said, okay, they said he was a crapple. Tell me, I'm from northeastern Nigeria. I left it for a reason. You see Tonali's up there?
I said, yeah, he made a point. I don't know what that little raising him was, but he made a point. But what I'm saying is this: you have to be a builder. Kanye is a builder. Akon's a builder. Now, people will criticize, oh, you're doing with the Chinese, the same Chinese who don't like Africans. Okay. Until we have an African country who can provide 100% technology to get my mega city popping, or hopefully what Terrence Howard wants to do, provide those technologies to Uganda, we still have to work with international people. So I think you just have to not only be a builder, but have to excuse criticism and ignore it and really have no emotion. Because one thing I know about Africans, emotions don't get to them. And that's what I like about them. They don't care what you say, it's about what you do. Don't provide us empty proposals, give us solutions. The only way you could, like he said, the Chinese are about the money. So you can say all the offensive stuff, but long as you don't bring stuff about a Holocaust denial or something like with Manchuria, I think that's the only way they can go against you. Or if you piss off the wrong Nigerian when you say jollof rice is better in Senegal versus them, then we can do a different story. But that's on a different level. So Diners, you can chime on that. Jollof rice makes the best. I don't know, but I'll give you my 2 cents later. You guys,
Senegalese.
thank you,
Senegalese is
thank
dope.
you. Okay, thank you. And yes, I'm gonna leave right now because there might be somebody gonna come over to talk my daughter. So I'll see you guys later.
Speaking of pissing off China, he better not say anything about Taiwan. He better not say anything wrong about Taiwan, because that would piss China off.
And by the way,
Yo,
the
can I
best
chime in real
pies
quick?
and the best pies in America are bean pies from Nation of Islam. Guys, peace. Bye.
All right, let me pass it to Black Canada. Let me pass it to you, Truth 8884. Go ahead, Black Canada.
Hey, Brother Dinus, and hello to everyone. You know what? I think Kanye will do well in Africa. I mean, there are so many outstanding African artisans. They can put an African twist on a brand new product. They can name it what they want to name it, and he could be a billionaire all over again. I mean, that's just my view. He's done it. He's been a billionaire once in America under the harshest conditions. He can do it again in a different environment if he broadens his mind. He is going to have to let go of some of his love for the white pat on the head, but other than that, I think he can do it again. And that's my comment. I ain't going to stay on here long. Good talking to you guys.
No problem, guys. Do me a favor, hit the like button. We got 300 people in here. Do me a favor, please hit that like button again. Please hit that like button as you come into the chat room. If you have not hit the like button, again, please hit the like button. Okay. All right. Truth AA4, go ahead.
Yo, what's happening? I just want to say peace in chat because I've been watching you for years and I've never called in. But there was a brother on here earlier that said something about Kanye going to Uganda or trying to figure out what country would offer the ability for him to have advanced manufacturing. As far as clothes go, Lesotho has a textile manufacturing setup, and I don't know if he knows this. I don't know if most people know this. I was looking it up for my cousin because my cousin's into fashion, and I was just like, yo, how can you use that fashion ability to make money for yourself and for the diaspora? And so I did some digging, and Lesotho would be a perfect place. Not only that, they legalize weed too for anybody that's into growing and selling weed. That's my comment.
Yeah, thank you for adding that. NGTO92, go ahead. And we'll pass it to Go Black, then back to you, Alex. Go ahead, NGTO92.
Hey, Dennis. Can you guys hear me?
Hear you loud and clear. Go ahead. Go ahead. We hear you. Go ahead. Hello. Hello. All right, let me remove her. Come right back. All right, go ahead. Go Black.
What's up, Donis? What's good with you?
Oh man, all is well. All is well.
All is well. The Kanye. Let me say this right here about Kanye. Okay, that a lot of people may miss the point with Kanye. Kanye is a leader, a boss. He's an alpha male. He's a man that is just going to want to always be in charge. That's why he always is frustrated when it comes to America's system of holding him back. He's going to have to go head out on the limb, I'm the same type. I'm a Leo. I take charge. I'm a leader. And every time I find myself under the thumb of some of these weak supervisor managers or whatever, it was very frustrating for me because it was an intentional of holding me back into me doing, whether it was a process or organization, what have you, to really take it to a level I believe that would have been a lot better than where it was standing. And so Kanye's frustration, one of his frustrations is because he knows that, he is under these people that he do worship and want to try to be like. But to the brother who just came in and talked about Lesotho, he's currently right. I looked it up. It says that the combined textile, apparel, and footwear manufacturing industry remains Lesotho's largest formal private sector employer, employing around 46,500 workers. Its current employment is below its earlier 2003 peaks of about 54,000. So yeah, there is an industry there. I was just there in Lesotho about 2 months or 3 months ago when I went skiing in Africa. And they do have a lot of textile factories out there, as small as Lesotho is as a country, but they do have a lot. And so my thing is, yes, Kanye, man, you already know me, Don, is where I stand. Everybody should come and start a business in Africa. I mean, there's no sky is the limit. And I believe that people who are this type, who are leaders, who know that they can take charge and do things and take it to the next level. Those are the type of people, man, Africa is really looking for. Those who have creative mindsets, those who have the ingenuities of making things beyond than what their purpose actually is. I think many people like that will flourish in Africa. Kanye the most definitely will flourish in Africa, and some of the guys talking about will Kim come move in with. Who says you got to move to Africa? You ain't got to move to Africa. Come do business in Africa. I think we are a one-sided thing, thinking that we're tied to one country, that we can't navigate the globe and do business elsewhere. Yet, most rich folk anyway got houses almost in most of these vacation places anyway. So nothing precludes or prohibits Kanye from coming into Africa. And I believe Akon, for the big things that he's doing, let alone in Senegal and in Uganda, that Kanye can take note and learn from, and then also connect with those like-minded people, so where then he can become his own boss, his own free person. Him pissing off people, I think that when you see the patience of the Africans, when you see how humble the people are, you see that when you see how hungry they're really wanting to receive information. I mean, when I go around Africa, people, they listen. They want to really know how they can get to that level of what they think America's like. And so he would do fantastic in Africa. And many people would jump on board to make that success happen because they want to be part of success. And given the opportunity, Africa will embrace Kanye coming in to employ thousands of people to do his product and sell his product around the globe. He don't need America. You got Africa. He's talking about he want to make the shoes for $20. Africa got 1.3 billion. India's got 1.4 billion. China's got so these people who love Kanye will still buy his product, especially at a lower price. And I believe that he can do it. So that's what I got, my brother.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it. Go ahead, Alex. Go ahead, Caesar.
Hey, yeah. I love what Go Black had to say. I just wanted to make one more point about Kanye. As much as I think every Black person should come. I mean, it's your birthright. If you're Black, going to Africa is your birthright. I just for Kanye specifically, though. I mean, I feel like ever since the whole Bush thing, right? If you invest in Africa, it's great. But I even question his loyalties to Black people, to be completely frank, because, you got to see that picture of Kanye holding a plate of food for those white designers in Europe, right? And it's just like, he's so obsessed with white validation.
Well, holding what?
You got to look up. There's a picture my brother sent me. It's a picture of Kanye. He's in a car with Kim, and he's holding a plate of food that has chicken and like mashed potatoes on it or something. And a white designer is using a fork to eat on the plate. And it's just like, it's weird. Like, it's really weird. Like, he's the kind of person where, he goes to Africa, he finds out the secrets Africa has, and he goes to the white boy and say, hey, look what I found. Look what we got, to prove that we got something, like, I don't know what, he has an obsession with white people. That's weird to me. Like, he doesn't seem like somebody who wants to win. He seems like somebody who wants to prove to them that he's good enough, which is a weird mentality. He's a genius. creative genius, a mastermind, but his loyalties to black people, I don't really see that, you know. And I think the celebrity class is not a class you can even depend on, even if they're geniuses like Kanye. You know, do you see the picture? You Google it. Okay, but it's weird. It's really weird. Like, what would motivate a man to do that? I don't know.
So this is what really happens with Peter, Amy, Kanye. What we do on our way to a Vogue event: ribs and French fries. Yeah. So this is what really happens with Peter, Amy, Kanye. What we do on our way to a Vogue event: ribs and French fries. Yeah.
Explain. Can someone explain that? Like, what the hell? Excuse my friend.
I mean, hey, he's
To piggyback on that a little bit, it's kind of like when he was calling Trump daddy or something like that in the fucking Oval Office, or like he was saying Trump is his daddy or some stupid shit like that. But also I agree with what's his name, go black to Africa, when he said you don't have to live on the continent to build over in Africa, you know, especially factories and, you know, businesses and whatnot, especially if you have the money. So yeah, so Kanye could probably do it. It's if he wants to do it, because I know he has a factory in like Wyoming or something, right?
right. Yeah, somebody in the chat room
Yeah.
says Dynasty doesn't know how to defend that. Yeah, I don't know how to defend. Listen, maybe they're close friends and you just joking and playing around. Listen, maybe they're close friends and he was just joking and playing around and holding their food so they can enjoy the food.
Yeah. And so I believe he has a factory in Wyoming, right? So transferring that factory over to Africa would like save him a lot of money. And it just depends on if he wants to actually do it in Africa or not. And I think it would be a great idea if he opened his school up in Africa instead of, you know, the US, because he would have more room to, you know, choose his curriculum and stuff. But yeah.
Gas him up. Go ahead.
Yeah, Dennis, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to mention some things because you said that about getting shots earlier in the broadcast. You were talking about getting shots, but I will say this: don't let Akon lie to anybody running off to Africa. Please get your malaria pills. Get your typhoid shots. At least, you know, yellow fever.
Let me say
Hold on, wait, Dennis. Let me say this real quick. Okay, go ahead.
Let me finish. This is not medical advice. Consult with your doctor. I don't take none of that stuff personally. I don't take no malaria pills. I ain't taking none of that. So just let you know where I stand. I don't take none of that. So if you decide you want to take that, you guys consult a doctor before you do that. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, well, of course. I mean, well, you're right. I hope no one took that. I'm not a medical expert to tell anybody what they should be taking, but I'm just saying that just on the safe side, because if your body is not exposed to certain things and you go out there and you're not prepared, your body can have certain adverse reactions. So I encourage people at least discuss with your doctor, and you know, take your malaria pills, take your typhoid shot, and that way, when you're up and about, you might go to a restaurant. You're not sure if the salad was clean, you know, was cleaned with good water, and you eat the salad, and then you get sick. You got typhoid, you got dysentery, and now you're, you know, oh, I hate Africa, you know. So, in reference to what he was saying or what other people are saying, I think you can make investments in Africa, but I think the problem is that one, I think Americans, this is just my opinion, again, it's just Gaston's opinion. Americans have to understand the market, right? So everyone says, yeah, there's a billion people in Africa. Yeah, but you're not looking at the consumption patterns and habits of the African consumer. Most Africans are not conspicuous consumers. So an African doesn't have $400. The average African that you're seeing on the street doesn't have $400 to spend on a pair of Yeezys or LeBrons or Jordans or some nonsense like that. So when you're coming with your product, make sure your product is, scalable for the average African consumer. Like I'm in, certain commodities. I realized quickly that, hey, excuse me. I realized quickly that, hey, I can go very high end, and of course, the profit margins are there. But the average Nigerian is not just buying my high end products. I'm missing out on the 60 to 40, 70% of the market by only focusing on high end products. So I have to switch my business model and focus on a lot, more fast moving consumer goods that were much cheaper, right? So I'm just saying that with Kanye, in reference to the question, should Kanye go to Africa? Of course, right? That's Garvey's dream come to life. But will he? And me personally, I don't want people like Kanye in Africa. It's just me, because they're not going to come with anything that's sustainable for the most part. And a lot of times, he's going to when he's coming to Africa, okay, he builds the factory. Are the Africans going to be able to consume it? Right? Like you compare Henry Ford. When Henry Ford was creating his Fords, he said that he wanted the average Ford auto plant worker to be able to purchase a Ford. So now when he's in Africa, how low is his price going to have to be for people to say, hey, I'm going to, purchase these Yeezys? And then keep in mind, the African governments don't have the type of, what's that law where you, copyright, right? The copyright infringement. Because trust me, there's going to be some Igbo guy named Chukudi or some Yoruba guy named Afolabi who's going to see the Yeezys. I say, oh boy, maybe copy on. Maybe go sell them quick. And then it's going to be a bunch of CZs in Lagos Island. Is he ready for that? You get what I'm trying to say? And these are the little things, the nuances.
Gas them up. They're already there.
Yeah, that's
Of course, they're already there. But so that's what I'm saying. So he's not going to get the instant as compared to, again, that's why I said Henry Ford or Dangote, a true industrialist, right? So Dangote's product is consumed primarily by the Africans on the continent. A lot of times what I've seen, this is my opinion, a lot of Americans leave America and are coming with an American economic model thinking that the African on the ground has that type of disposable income, not understanding that in America, you have access to consumer credit and credit lines to purchase, like, Thanksgiving's about to start. You got Black Friday that's about to happen. Everyone's going to start doing their Christmas shopping. It's not like that in unless maybe perhaps South Africa and some other countries. But for the most part, you run through Lagos State. No one's out there just sitting there waiting with the credit card to spend. People are budgeting a certain way. So if you ask the average mother who has 2 children in secondary school with the school fee, are you going to pay your school fees or pay, $100 for Yeezys? She says, Chris, what's in Kanye West? So these are the things I'm just saying.
Kanye already said he wants to make the shoes $20.
Oh, he wants to make them $20?
Yeah, he already said that.
Okay, cool. Then yeah, I mean, if he can do that, and he can,
Hold on. There's only 14 likes. Y'all hit the like button. Oh man, y'all just trifling. Goodness, hit the like button. Stop being trifling and hit the like button. Truth AA4, go ahead and we'll pass it to go back to Africa. But guys, do me a favor, hit the like button.
Yo, I just wanted to piggyback off of what Gas Them Up was saying about the making clothes that's more affordable for the African consumer, and just an idea, like, wouldn't it be advantageous to turn around and be like, okay, well, I'm Kanye, and I want to make your work clothes, your police uniforms, your doctor clothes, things like that, in order to like kind of sort of set up a revenue stream or whatever, and then just kind of sort of build from there. That's the question.
Are you asking me or are you asking the panel?
I mean, you or the panel. It don't really matter. Just,
let me say this right here.
Bouncing ideas off.
Let me say this right here. I can tell who are successful and who are not successful by the way they talk. It is amazing that we as a people have a negative mindset. This is why we don't get anywhere. We got all this fear, and then we're like, oh, well, you don't think that he has business people around who will do market assessments, market analysis to see what will be fitting for his product? Let me tell you right here, this is my 21st African country right here, I'm in Zimbabwe. You will be shocked to know that there is a nice majority of Africans who save money and waste their money on iPhones, on brand new iPhones, who will waste money on Western things that we have in order for themselves to feel as though that they have achieved. It blows my mind when I see people who can live in who are poor or what have you, living in small huts or small houses, that they got things that you got. And so we got to keep that in mind, that we got to look, what is the fear? Why are we why are we talking like that? But that's because I understand most of y'all are not business people. You don't just
When you
hop
say people aren't business people, what do you mean? We're referencing people like Ford. We're referencing people like Dangote. So again, I'm not sure what you're referring to, and I'm not sure how you can just sit back there as an armchair psychologist and deduce who's successful and who isn't when you're not looking at bank statements, assets, financial reports, or anything like that. How are you able to deduce that?
What I'm saying is this right here. Okay, I mean, it's there, a lot of, I understand everybody has their opinion, but what gets me is those people who haven't even been to Africa, who maybe haven't been traveling around just to get a true assessment of what Africa is about. And my thing is that even when I tell people that they can come here and hit it off and be successful, we have this negative mindset. We have the what
So
if.
can you give me 5 examples of African Americans? I can give you one, but give me 5 examples of African Americans who have gone over to Africa and created an industrial base where they're making products that the Africans are consuming and Westerners are consuming.
Look, I don't fall into your traps of giving you the numbers so that you could try to prove a point.
No, I
There are
wouldn't. I would shut up and go and research it. I wouldn't prove a point.
Look at my videos. Look at Maya's videos. Look at those who go around and interview people who are doing
I'd
it
rather
big.
watch Warren Buffett than you and Rode Maya.
Well, then you need to be quiet then, because then you don't
Then
know.
no, dude, like this is what I'm saying. Like you guys keep presenting this fake narrative to people, and that's why a lot of people end up disillusioned. You got to give them the real. I'm not here to BS people. I'm doing business. Listen, I'm not doing your CIA thing. You love to do these CIA topics, man. And I guess it's the army in you. It's the army in you. Don't worry about where I am in America. The point is that
one mic. Go ahead, go.
Look. First of all, I was never in the army, so let's get that straight, okay? You see, you don't know what you're talking about.
Whatever, the military, the CIA and you seeps out all the time, dude.
Oh yeah. I'm counterintelligence. Now what you want to do with that? What do you want to do with it?
Nothing. I don't care.
Yes?
I don't care whether you're counterintelligence. Stop giving people false hope.
Okay, hold on. Let go back. Please. Go ahead, go back.
Let me motivate and encourage people, because there are people who sit on their own desert island who try to be negative and want to sway you from out of things in your life that you could be successful. My thing is this right here. I'm on the ground. I've been to 21 countries. I've seen it. I've interviewed the people.
You're not the only one on the ground.
I've interviewed the people. The stories that are here are great in what you could do here in Africa.
Are you prepared to tell, for example, Dynast, if you ship commodities in, I'm in commodities. When NAFDAC seizes your goods, over 10 million naira worth of your goods, and they burn them, that's part of doing business because you didn't tip or bribe the right person. So I'm not here to tell people lies. Yes, come to Africa. I'm not telling them. I've never said no one shouldn't go to Africa and do business. That's a beautiful thing. I just said that's Garvey's dream come to life. But let's give people the good and the bad. Are you prepared when the government seizes your products?
You don't watch my channel, because I tell the good, the bad, and the indifference when I go into African countries. So you don't know my channel. I don't tell no fake lies. I tell the good, the bad, and the indifferent. I tell it like it is, so that people, when they come, which I have had hundreds, if not thousands already, who's come to visit Africa. And the large majority of them have enjoyed visiting, and there are some who have moved to Africa. So my thing is that we have to really look at the fact that we are our own Achilles heel when it comes to saying statements like, "Oh, we talk in Africa like it's one, like it's one country. There are 54 countries in Africa, and many people have come in and are doing big things in Africa. I know some African Americans who have factories in Ghana. Personally, facts. I know African American who got factories right there in Israel. Facts. I know African Americans in South Africa who has factories. Facts. So I know what I'm talking about. I know the people. If you look at my videos and go through them, you will
Dude,
see
no
this.
one's disputing that you don't know people. No one was disputing that. What I'm confused about is I gave examples and you came on here as you usually do, and you're like, "Oh no, it's negative and we're discouraging people." Nobody's discouraging anybody. I was
I have
giving
my right
clear-cut
to say what
examples.
you have your right to say, and I
Of
wasn't talking
course,
to you
but
personally.
no, because no one else said it. You don't have to say I wasn't talking. That's just an indirect
I
cul-de-sac way of
wasn't
throwing
talking
a
about
shot.
you. I wasn't
Okay,
talking
go
about
ahead,
you.
sir.
If you feel guilty, I wasn't talking about you. I was saying there are people who come in here that are thinking a little bit negative. Why? Because you want to share, you want to focus on the negative instead of looking at what really is the positive. This is why we don't get nowhere. We worried about the what ifs. Do your homework, search it
Dynast,
out.
let me give you an example, Dynast. Can I say the name Math Hoffa? He has a podcast, right? He does a podcast. I like battle rap, right? So Math Hoffa has a podcast, and recently the guys that were on his podcast just had a falling out. And you know why? Because they were doing the homeboy Negro politics. No one's really sitting down there doing the contracts from the beginning saying, "Hey, listen, this is what you're going to get. This is what I'm going to get. Let's go to our attorneys. Let's have buy-sell agreements in place. Let's have, if we have to separate this, thinking the worst case scenario so we can proceed with all the positivity."
Right.
And that's all I'm saying. I'm not telling anyone not to go to Africa.
Same thing happened with was it I Am Athlete with the football players. They fell out.
Yeah, Joe Buttons, all these guys, because everybody's doing the high five. It's not, I call it in Nigeria the padi, my friend thing. And it's like, no, let's do the contracts right. Let's do the feasibility studies. We put everything in paper so that way, if Dynast hates me tomorrow, we can walk away without feeling cheated. And that's all I'm saying. Just make sure that everybody, because I'm sick. Look, Don King, Mike Tyson had, I'm sorry to say, white handlers for years with custom model, and he never got cheated or screwed. As soon as Don King came around him and doing that, my brother, he got cheated.
Gas them up. Are you saying that people I'm pretty sure that people do go into business dealings blindly. That's all. That's just not exclusive to Africa. That's everywhere. But I would think that mature people would, when they go into business anywhere, would want to make sure.
I'll give you an even better. Prince, for example, Prince, the artist, may he rest in peace. Probably the greatest, right, of all time. He had a terrible will. He didn't have anything set up in a C corp. He didn't have anything set up in a trust. He didn't have an ILIT. He didn't have anything like that. And this guy, I'm sure, because people say, they have advisors. Why didn't no black financial advisor go near him and tell him, "Hey, listen, put your estate in order"? He had like tons of money in gold, which was going to get taxed by the estate tax laws. It's like, so I'm just saying, look, I'm not saying I know it all. Go ahead.
I guarantee you that somebody probably approached Prince and said, "Hey, do you have things in order? Do you have a will?" I mean, the amount of people the type of people that these entertainers have access to. I'll give you an example. When I played football at Georgia, every year, an agent or someone will come in and speak to the football team in regards to getting affairs in order. It's just the majority of us didn't listen. They came in and told us, like, "Listen, don't do this, don't blow money on this." Literally, you had cats who there was a cat I played football with, true story, who what a lot of the players would do who were projected to go in the draft. They would get with agents, and agents will front them a line of credit. Now listen, the draft's in April. All right, football season ends in December. These cats couldn't wait 4 months to go and floss. So they would literally get a line of credit from their agents just so they could go get cars and shit just to floss. And the amount of interest they were paying on that line of credit was ridiculous. But they knew better. They just did it. And there was one cat on a football team who was projected to go a certain round, didn't get drafted at all. but took out a line of credit so he could floss. And I'm pretty sure he might still be paying that line of credit off to this day. So trust me, the resources are there. People are coming and approaching these people saying, hey, you need to get your affairs in order. It's just there are a lot of people that just don't listen.
And I'll say that when it comes to Kanye West, he's a businessman, like you said, Dynas, who's got a circle of people who have the knowledge and experience to go ahead. It's been proven. The man would have been a billionaire if he hadn't. But he takes them same contacts and put them on the ground working for him. He could do it, and he'll be successful. I ain't got time to be like, he needs to be careful, this and that. He's going to take care of that business. That business is going to take care. There are businesses that fail every day that people have went through the grind of ensuring that they did everything proper. It's just a part of life. There are failures part of life, and there are successes. And one thing in America, the great thing of escape is the bankruptcy. That's the rich man's tool to save his wealth. It's claim bankruptcy. So businesses fail and they succeed. It's part of life. My thing to everybody that might be listening to this is try. If you're going to sit in fear, you'll never get anywhere. Do your homework, do your research, and go forward. Let nothing stop you for going for what you desire, even if it's in Africa. Appreciate it, Donnie.
I understand what Go Black to Africa is saying, but everybody who came on the panel today said, yes, we do want Kanye to go to Africa and build and set up factories and all of that. But we have to take into account everything else that comes with it. So we're all just speculating, and when you're speculating, it's better when you have different viewpoints, even if you might not, agree or like them.
That's true. I mean, it's not everybody has the right to their opinion. I'm just saying that I'm putting out there that one of our downfalls is that we have a dark sense of thinking at times for those opportunities in life we should be taking advantage of, and that's why a lot of us are stuck in where we are. Let me give you something right here. Example today, I'm right here, like I said, in Zimbabwe. There's two women out here who's security guards. I talked to them yesterday, and I started sharing with them about, what are they doing with their money? And they were like, oh, I don't have much money. I don't have much left. Okay, well, what are you doing as far as the little money you have? You could be starting something. Do something with your money. One of the sisters, I came out this morning, went to my car. She ran over to me and she said, I bought a lot of drinks today for the construction workers out here. Oh, did you? I went to lunch. I came back about 4 hours later. She came over. She was up here smiling. She said, I sold out all my drinks. I said, for real? Do you know how much she was elated. And she said, I'm just, thank you so much for telling me. Tomorrow I'm going to get more drinks, this and that. Do you know how much she made in profit today? And she was jumping for joy. $4.56 was her profit bearing. But you know what? It was $4.96 more than she had yesterday. And this is what I'm talking about, because she was in the same mindset as far as, I only have just a little bit. Who cares if you got a little bit? Do something with the little bit you got. That's all I'm saying.
All right, NGTO 92, go ahead.
Hey, Dennis, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So I wanted to come on this channel because I saw your title. If should Kanye West go to Africa and start his business? I would say no. The reason why I said no is because that man has too much chaos around him. And wherever he goes, that chaos follows him. And I hear all the, the talks that he will build factories, he will do this, he will do that. It's not going to be easy to do that in Africa than it is here. You can't just say, okay, I'm going to go to Africa today.
Please explain why it'll be harder in Africa than America.
Thank you. Because Go Black to Africa, last year, when you first went to Ghana, you wanted to start a business there and buy land. And then you later on changed your mind and said that you would never buy land in Ghana and you would never do anything. And then you went to Tanzania and lived there for a longer time. You also made a video about the banking system in Ghana. So you talked about the same situation in South Africa, how South African economy is being run, correct? And the South Africans were trying
Are
to
you telling
explain
me,
to you.
NGTO, I was negative? You mean to tell me I was exposing some of the downfalls?
So you do know that Africa has downfalls. So now you want Kanye West, that has its own chaos, to bring his own chaos with what Africa is trying to fix. Am I wrong?
NGTO, do you know I bought property in Ghana this year?
This year, but last year you made a whole video insulting me, saying that you would never do this.
Exactly. Yes. So there it goes again. Even I was in my own way because I took it personal, but I looked at it in a total different light.
I think you did that after they called you out, though. You only did that because Ghanaians called you anti-hate Ghana because they were making videos.
I did what? I did what?
You end up buying land in Ghana when Ghanaians called you out and said that you hate Ghanaians or Ghana.
I didn't buy land in Ghana. I bought an apartment in Ghana. You think I'm gonna spend $115,000 to soothe the egos or the ill wills of some small percentage of Ghanaians? Are you serious?
But you just said that Kanye West should take his business there, but you wouldn't do such things. So do you see where I'm coming from?
I did do such
You just
thing.
said that Kanye West to take his business to Africa. I mean, I'm not, I don't want to make Africa sound like a country. It's a continent. However, you said you've been to 21 countries in Africa, right?
Yes. Yep.
Right? Okay.
Yep.
So how is Kanye West chaos going to benefit Africa right now? In Ghana right now, you have to have US dollars to even rent an apartment in Ghana right now, even for the locals. The locals that never left Ghana, that don't never even left Ghana before, has to have. I'm not saying all of Ghana is like this, but a lot of them are requesting.
Well, NGTO 92 is easy. Don't go to Ghana.
Yeah.
No, it's not. I mean, I'm not saying that don't go to Ghana, but a lot of African countries are going through development right now. And there's this saying that African people always say that the devil you know is better than the devil you don't know. At least we know our own devils. We don't know his, but you want him to come and start business. Abby?
Thank you, sister. That guy's not stable. Thank you. You get what I'm saying? This guy's going to come to Africa and screw things up for us. We already got to deal with admirals. We got to deal with corrupt politicians. Now you're going to bring in this half in love with white people guy just because he got black skin and he calls himself Ye now. And now we got to deal with him. It's like he's not even emotionally. What is Kanye going to do when an admiral tells him, oh boy, you can't open your factory here unless you pay off this family or the Omoniles? He's going to cry and make a YouTube video. Like, no one has time for that. You got to be emotionally mature to even handle these type of things. He's not emotionally mature.
Exactly.
You know?
And right now,
there's 54 countries. He has no impact on Africa as a whole. It's 54 countries. He
okay, it's 54 countries.
But Go Black, here's my thing. When you talk about investing, the problem is look, Kanye is a fashion guy and he's an industrialist because his shoes are being manufactured. We just saw Jay-Z file a lawsuit. He doesn't even know where his alcohol is produced. That's another joke of a businessman, right? So I'm just sitting here saying,
they just told Kanye that they had $40 million that he was in debt that he didn't even know nothing about. Now that's
I'm just saying. What I'm saying is that first off, when we're saying Kanye is a billionaire and all this, quickly we see how he wasn't a billionaire because the same people who gave it to you took it away from him. So no one can come tomorrow and say Adenuga is not a billionaire or Patrice Motsepe is not a billionaire because they produce in Africa and they are consumed in Africa. So what I'm saying to any American who wants to do business in Africa, now you can take the O'Shea model, right? O'Shea has a great model. He's giving Africans jobs and he's producing content in Africa, but his primary consumers are in the West. That's a great, hybrid model that he's using. And we got to get specific when we're telling people that. So I'm not against your message, Go Black, and saying, oh, people shouldn't go to Africa. No one's saying that. Go to Africa, enjoy it, but let's be real and give people great advice, great business advice, so we can come across like the Mike Milkins, even though he had scandals, or the Warren Buffetts, or people who are like Sam Zell, people who are in business doing real well, like real industrialists, real titans of industry. Like that's all I'm trying to say.
Okay, let's pass it. Go ahead, Go Black. We'll pass it to Sim Police
I
Academy.
understand.
Go ahead, Go Black.
NGTO, she validated that I'd share the bad of certain things that are in Africa. She validated that right there, because my thing is that there are some things that I just do not like, but then there are some things that there's a lot of things I love. But you know what? I've bought business in Africa, propane business in Africa. I've got 3 properties in Africa, and I'm winning. Is it perfect here? No. But just like I said just a second ago, Kanye West just made a statement, I think 2 days ago, that his so-called business partners dropped a $40 million debt that he knew nothing about. Oh, they kept it from him. That's in America. So now if they in America could go ahead and steal $40 million out of your pockets, then so what's the big deal then coming to Africa? You got snakes everywhere you go. So my thing is that, like I said again, if you do your homework, if you do your research, then maybe you could set your eyes in coming to do business in Africa or any country for that matter. I'm just trying to wake people up to get the heck out of America, where people are drowning in debt, have no possibilities of even trying to get to the next place of being independent. In Africa, look, there's less red tape and bureaucracy in starting businesses. And there's a lot of African Americans who bought land.
I think Kanye West needs to lay low, like Kobe Bryant, Shaq O'Neal, and just take his loss and just disappear. That's what he needs to do.
Okay, let's pass it to Sim Police Academy. Go ahead, Sim Police.
Man, first things first, man, shout out to your platform, my brother. You know what I'm saying? I went on your website, checked out the things you got going on with the tours and everything. So, man, appreciate what you're doing, man. Keep doing what you're doing and keep giving people a platform to speak, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the house, man. That's just how I was raised up. But the weirdest thing that I've been hearing when I've been listening to this is to hear Black people sit up here and talk about what, like, as if they know Ye personally, to sit up there and say what he's gonna do. You get what I'm saying? That just always shocks me with Black people. They're always talking about what somebody's gonna do and what
That's
stuff
what the
like
show's about.
that ain't what the show is about. The show is about asking a question, what he need, what if he needs to go over there. That's something different. You know what I'm saying? To sit up there and say what he's gonna do this, and then he's gonna go make a video on YouTube and what he's gonna do afterwards and what his wife gonna do. You get what I'm saying? Y'all sound like the Shade Room. You get what I'm saying? Black people have turned into the walking TMZ. I remember back in the day, Go Black. You know what I'm saying? Where we used to sit up there and we used to joan and crack on white people to be in celebrity business, be worried about what celebrity people are eating for lunch. Now it's Black people. Black people are worried about what somebody eating in their car, or what type of lipstick they wearing, what type of shoes they wearing. You know what I'm saying? Now, Dynast, I tell you no lie. When I walk up to a Black person, you know what I'm saying, a Black person looks me up and down from the ground up. Go Black. When I go conduct business, you know what I'm saying, with white people, Iranian, you know what I'm saying, they look you straight in your eye and conduct business. You know what I'm saying? That's what I notice about Black people and everybody else. Black people look for any reason to start talking shit about you. Black people look for any reason to downgrade you. Black people look for any reason to disassociate with you. But when other group of people that can't stand you You know what I'm saying? If you got enough money and you got enough business sense, they'll sit up there and conduct business. Dinas, I tell you, I know them white people at the rail yard can't stand me. I know them Iranian people wish that they cousins or whoever can operate the rail yards and operate those containers like I do. But you know what? Since they see me doing it, you know what I'm saying? They might call me a nigga behind my back, but they cut them $4,500 to $5,500 checks a week. You get what I'm saying? And give it to me. You get what I'm saying? They go by what you can do, not by what your record is. Now, the only thing that I thought Kanye West about is he's a bad spokesperson. You get what I'm saying? Because he's an emotional guy. You know what I'm saying? But if he sit back like and believe me, I'm telling y'all, in the business world, it's so many racist people that sit at the top and they have a front person. You get what I'm saying? I always tell the story about the CSE rail yard right here in Atlanta, Dinas. This old white man, decrepit, racist white dude. He got this clean cut guy running the show. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you didn't know any better, you would think this white boy run the whole thing and he's just a spokesperson. He have to go in the back room and kiss the ring of this decrepit white dude with goddamn IV shooting up his arms. But that doesn't change the point of business. I won't discourage anybody from conducting business. But the problem with black people, Dinas, the problem with black people go black. The problem with black people gas them up is that we are an employee-based people. Majority.
Simp, I need you to repeat that again. That's important.
The problem with black people that we are in an employee-based people. We will sit up and work for a company for 30 years. Arguing about how many microwaves they got in the break room. You know what I'm saying? We don't goddamn go tell our kids that this is where you want to work from. I can get you in the door at 16. And then as soon as your child get the job, you start talking about they need to put in on the bills. You know what I'm saying? That's how we create employees. See, the one thing I give white people credit for is that they teach their kids to manage black people. All a white person got to do is don't call you a nigga, and you'll work for him for 30 or 40 years, and you'll tell on other black people to keep that job. You get what I'm saying? You'll tell on other black people to come up off that job. And if you know another black person that you feel like that can compete against you, you won't even tell him about the job. That's why we got this weird slogan, Go Black. We got the weirdest slogan in our community, that game is to be sold, not told. What the fuck is that shit about? I'm gonna help my brother. It's the stupidest shit in the world. Hey man, you know what? I need Dinas. I'm over here coughing. I'm over here coughing and choking, Dinas. I'm over here spitting up blood, Go Black. And I say, hey man, can you help me? Man, the game is to be sold, not told. What stupid nigga shit is that? And we sit up there and glorify it. You get what I'm saying? So, you know, that's just how I see us as a people. And that's why I say we're doom and gloom. The 15%, we're going to make it. You know what I'm saying? It's just that when you have a business mind, and just like Dinas.
Hey, Sip, sorry to interrupt you, brother.
Go ahead, my brother.
And here's another chat room. And I can't stand this one either. It ain't tricking if you got it.
It ain't tricking if you got it. Huh? You get what I'm saying? Like, think about it. You can be tricking off in your Roth IRA. You can be tricking off on bonds. You can be tricking off on stocks. But what you want to do is you want to get a husky hyena, a wig weave wild hyena hood rat from Southeast DC. You want to pay her metro bill. You want to buy her some leggings. You get what I'm saying?
Hey, Sip, she make me feel good though.
Yeah. No. That ass though. You know what I'm saying? She just tried to kill me. She just tried to put me in jail. She just lost my job, but that ass though. See, and another thing, we are hypersexual as black people. You get what I'm saying? So therefore, it's something that's bad for you. If you dress it up in a nice enough package, you put a cute ribbon on it. You know what I'm saying? You're married. That's why you got dudes out here sitting out here marrying retired porn stars. You get what I'm saying? Because we're hypersexual. So, we just got this mind frame to where you see black people, and after a while, you sit up there and say, you know what? Those black people cannot be helped. And that's the sad part, Dinus. That's the sad part that I understand about my people is that when I want to conduct business, black people stay away from it. If I want to sit around Dinus and be like, hey, man, you know what? Come to the house, bro. We watching the football game. I got some ribs. I got some chicken. I got some pork chop and some chitlins. That my goddamn whole front yard to be filled up, Dinus. But if I sit up there and say, hey, man, I got this guaranteed business with transportation where everybody can make at least $2,000 to $3,000 a week starting up, it'll be nobody there. Black people will rather shake their ass, Mr. Go Black, than open up a business, because the easiest thing in the world to do is to shake your ass and do a split in the club. The easiest thing for you to do is go out there and jump up and down and throw a ball into a hoop. The easiest thing in the world for you to do is to throw a 40-yard, 50-yard pass like Michael Vick and run around the field like a goddamn chicken with your head cut off. But to sit down and conduct business, you know what the funny thing, Mr. Go Black? Conducting business and open up a business, it's lonely and it's time consuming. You get what I'm saying? But black people don't want to do that because they need their weekend so they can be out here in these streets.
Well, let me say this right here because
Hey, Hustle Smart, check the back chat.
Well, my thing is right here. I'm not trying to beat up on anybody, but my comments, I hope that I was trying to awaken our eyes up, like you're saying, Simpis. We got to start looking at this. Why isn't all the brothers and sisters should be backing up? I'm not a Kanye fan. I don't know much about the guy except for what he's going through. I mean, you should be like, yeah, man, get the heck out of America. Stop working for these white folks. He should go to Africa. He should try his own thing. He should go ahead and show that what he could do. But like you're saying, Simp, is the fact that we don't have a business mindset. And so we're so negative towards one another. Why wouldn't you want somebody to get out of the concentration camp of America and go do your own thing? I've been screaming that for all of them jokers over there. But whether you Michael Jordan, whether you Magic Johnson, whether you got whoever you might be, got all this money, why are you still under the thumb of these Europeans and not go start and do your own thing? It's because we're addicted to being a slave to them.
I don't understand though. I don't understand.
Well, hold on,
Let me say
Alex.
something real quick.
Let's pass it to Alan first, then we'll pass it back to you. Go ahead, Alan.
Yeah, I hear everybody talking and that's fine, but I don't feel we're wrong for looking at Kanye and his past performance and deducing what his future endeavors were going to be. I don't think that's wrong. I think people do that every day, and I don't think that's wrong to do that. Kanye, as I said, and I keep saying, Kanye is not a leader. If he is a leader, if he was the kind of person that we're talking about that was going to actually go to Africa and do the type of things that we're talking about, he would have done it in the first place. He would have gone when Sway was sitting there telling him and gave him the answer, which he finally admitted that Sway had the answer. You could do this yourself. You don't need the big companies in order to do these types of things, because as soon as they give it to you, as soon as they can take it away. He didn't listen. Kanye didn't want to listen to that kind of advice. So it's ironic that all the things that we're talking about in terms of the negative things about our people and who we are, Kanye is the epitome of that. And through his past actions. Now, I'm all for people being able to change. Should he go to Africa and do something different? Absolutely, he should. Okay, but when you have a man who is obsessed, and I do mean obsessed with and pedestalizes a Kardashian to the point where even after she's publicly humiliated him, screwing around with the kids in the house and everything like that, and you're still calling Charlemagne, telling him that you need to rescue the new Marilyn Monroe. You don't have the type of mentality that's necessary to go ahead and build anything, because you are still caught up in foolishness. And I mean, to this day, even though he's learning some hard lessons, he's caught up in foolishness. And you cannot build. America. I'm sorry?
Yes, of course. He's in foolishness America.
Yeah.
So I mean, what would you expect? But let me say this: people talk about him coming to Africa and causing problems and stuff like that. You know, I interviewed a South African woman, right, from the how they say the Exos people, whatever. And you know, she told me, she said, because I said I'll have a hard time purchasing property down here. She said, you need to. If you don't, the white people will. We need brothers and sisters like you coming in. You want to know who got attitudes in Africa? Everybody want to complain about some of the Chinese people. Well, nobody wants to say nothing about the Chinese people, but now you want to be all on Kanye about, well, he's going to come mess it up for us. Us? Are you coming over doing anything? You ain't coming over doing anything.
Doing nothing.
Again. That's not that, but that's not what I'm saying.
Well, I'm not saying that you saying that.
Okay. Because what I'm saying is something simple. I want him to go ahead and do that. He should have done that from the beginning. You know what I mean? I have no problem with him going ahead and doing that and moving his businesses and doing stuff like that. My problem with people who put him up there like he's supposed to be the leader and you're supposed to have hope in him is like he needs to show that he's able to do that and to get his head out of the foolishness. And if he can't snap out of the foolishness after what's going on with him now, then there is no hope for him to get out of it, because they're showing him exactly what they think about him.
Who put him up as a leader?
Exactly.
I'm lost on that. Who else said Kanye West was a leader?
I've seen lots of people go out there and put him up there like he's like a beacon of hope, or he's some
Yeah,
sort of leader.
I never heard nobody say Kanye West is a leader or anything.
I said he was a leader. I said he has leadership traits. And what I mean by that, he's going to take charge. Look what he's done. I mean, but the thing of it is that he's got people that is above him. That, you know, that what did our man the comedian who came to Africa, what's his name?
Dave Chappelle.
Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle came to Africa to unwind. He was going freaking crazy. He said he almost lost his freaking mind. He had to detach and find himself. And he found himself in Africa. And what did he do when he went back to America? He became the boss. He runs things now. So my thing is that, and Donis, I'll say this right here in closing. You know, all these people talking about this and Africa, not this and that. I'm telling you, get ready, brother, because as soon as a couple of those jokers start doing something in Africa, everybody's coming. Your tour thing is going to blow up beyond than you can ever imagine. We who are already here in the forefront are going to reap. And the people who are the naysayers are going to be the ones who's going to want to try to tag along, coming in last place, and be the naysayers and the complainers when we were sitting here saying, come try out Africa. But as soon as the people they worship come over here, oh, Africa's the place now. Africa's where you need to be, because they do everything that those people there in Hollywood do. And that's what's going to happen.
Hey, Go Black, before you jump off, let me say this one thing to you. You know what the craziest thing is that with our people, we want our people to be 6'3", 180 pounds. They got to have waves. They got to have straight teeth. You know what I'm saying? They got to have perfect hands. You know what I'm saying? They got to talk correct. They got to be married for 63 years. You get what I'm saying? It's like, that's the weirdest thing with us. You get what I'm saying? That we think that like all these white people that run these billion-dollar companies, these motherfuckers having orgies out there in the jungle. They don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? I know for a fact that these white Iranian, all these people that run transportation, these are the people that keep your malls going. These are the people that keep your buildings going. These are the ones that keep the interstate going. These people get high as fuck on the weekend. They get turned up. The only difference is that they go rent an island now. They might go rent a mansion now. They got contract security. You know what I'm saying? They taking people's cell phones when they walk in the door. Go Black, you get what I'm saying? They just handle their foolishness on a different level, but they all turn up. You get what I'm saying? I don't been invited. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, no, I'm not against that because I just don't hang. I'm a loner. You get what I'm saying? I'm a loner person. So I have a business that only I handle. So I don't need to hang around nobody else. I just need to talk to you when it's time to renew my contracts, or if you want me to contract to somebody else, but I don't need to hang out with you. That's one of Kanye West's flaws because he think everybody that you do business with, that you're friends with. And I know that's not the case. But when you're worth that so much money and you have that many people around you, you get what I'm saying? You tend to feel like the people that you actually making money with like you. And I know that's not the point. A lot of time people are there just what you provide. And he has what you call limitless, bottomless potential of ideas. And you can always make money off a person, Dinus, that has so many influence. Just like you have somebody, Dinus, that know how to write books, but they don't know how to do publishing deals. But you do. And they just keep kicking. I give you the best example in the world. Say for instance, somebody like Tupac. Tupac could go in a studio, Dinus, and make 23 songs a day, but he never ran his own record label. You get what I'm saying? He was happy to have somebody else overdoing the leg work. He could come in there and hear a beat and make up a song, make $5-10 million. Now you think, well, okay, well, why Tupac never did his own business? Because he said that took away from his art, of his approach to music. He said the business side would have swayed his message. And some people just like that. Some people can't be the CEO, the CFO, human resources, you know what I'm saying, the janitor, the production. Some people can do it, but that's a stressful thing. You know what I'm saying? In the corporate world, you got to play your part. You know what I'm saying? So if he goes over there with as much money, as much clout as he got, the government gonna be involved in any deals that he do, Dinus. The government gonna be involved with any land deals that he do. So, you know, to hear the sister talk about the, you know, you could just hear her talk. She just kept saying chaos, chaos, chaos. And then I thought about it. Who did I hear talking about that? CNN kept saying the word chaos. MSNBC kept saying chaos. See, you got black people that sit up there and talk about Kanye West loving white people, go black. They are the main people that absorb all the white talking points of MSNBC and NBC. It's shocking that you're here black people call somebody else white loving. See, this is the part. This is the part, and I'm gonna pass the mic up. I want y'all to listen to this real well. See, a lot of black people are jealous that Kanye West is actually rubbing shoulders with other white people. You get what I'm saying? But you sit up here and talk to these same black people and you listen to them, you'll see they get their talking points from white people. Because there's nothing chaos about Kanye West. You know what I'm saying? Nothing. A billionaire. It's the equivalent of saying, it's the equivalent of CNN and MSNBC calling Donald Trump a dummy, but he got a plane out there in the backyard. Whenever he want to pull up, you got to catch up. You got to catch up. No, Daddy, don't stop me, Daddy, don't stop.
Hold on, Hunter Smart.
You catching the Uber. You catching an Uber. You paying 36-inch interest on a buy here, pay here 500,000 miles with no floor mats, calling somebody else a dummy. That's a billionaire. You know what I'm saying?
Well, he's not. He wasn't a billionaire though. But he wasn't a billionaire.
It doesn't matter. I don't care what air he is. He got a plane where he can operate whenever he want to and fly whatever he wants.
Hunter Smart, you can rent a Gulfstream right now.
Hold on, bro. What I'm saying is that I make damn near $250,000 a year. And I won't sit up there and talk shit about people that got more money than me. If anything, I want to learn how a person can be that frivolous and make that much money. Cause I'm cutthroat with my business. I don't do nothing out the line. I follow straight and narrow. So I want to try to figure out if I can make $200,000 a year being straight and narrow. Shit, I can make 500 or 700 being foolish. I'm trying to figure out where they can do it. Just like the tax codes. Hell yeah, if I can figure out how to not pay taxes, I'm gonna pay it. But the media will try to shame certain people who they don't like to try to make it seem like, oh, that person made $200,000. Hustle Smart made $200,000, and he paid less taxes than you did for working at the Amazon warehouse. So fucking what? That's your fault that you go to H&R Block. That's you that you go to the Jackson and Hewitt at the Kroger to do your taxes. That's on you.
again, what on earth
Hustle smart.
do?
Hold on. Let's pass it to Alex because I know Alex, you wanted to say something, right?
Yeah,
Go ahead, my brother.
I don't know, man. Sep made a whole bunch of assumptions on what that woman or lady thinks or what kind of show she watches, if she's a Democrat or a Republican. I don't like the whole idea of just demonizing somebody because they're a certain political they're in a certain political group, whether they're liberals or Republicans or whatnot.
Who said
And
anything about that?
the talking points she had weren't even like liberal ones. She was right about Kanye being disorganized.
No, she
Currently,
said chaos, bro. She said chaos.
that's
Do
the
you know?
same thing
Do you
as
know what
chaos.
chaos means?
But
That's the same
Kanye
thing as
is chaos. Listen, look.
He's not.
the
How
word
can he be?
chaos did
How can
not
he
come
be
from
chaos? How
MSNBC.
can he be chaos in everything that
I
he
can
touches
tell
as far
you.
as his
I can
business?
tell you.
Yeah, his business does good. Gas him up.
I can tell you.
He
I can
just
tell you.
lost
Go ahead.
One,
$2 billion in one day.
I'm not worried about
And
what he
how is he
lost.
gonna bounce back?
I'm
Yeah, that.
we're not,
Yeah.
to quote, to quote
Go
Dame
ahead,
Gas,
gas
we
him
don't
up.
got I'm not gonna be a chatty patty and count anybody's money. I don't
Thank
care
you.
about another man's money. But
Mhm.
what I'm gonna say is this is that he is chaos, not necessarily because of business or anything,
Mhm.
right? Because I don't think any African would have an issue if Robert Smith said he was coming down to Africa to invest. Africans wouldn't care.
They
Or
wouldn't even
Bob
know who Robert
Johnson,
Smith.
right? A
Gas him
lot
up.
of
They
people
wouldn't
know
even
who,
know who Robert Smith was.
but
That's the point.
yeah, but what I'm saying is that Robert Smith coming down to Africa. I'm just saying, look, he's chaos because I'll be honest.
Mhm.
I don't think Africa should be a place of rehab for a person who drank the white man's Kool-Aid.
Gas him up.
Like
Gas him up. Hold on
if
for a second,
America
bro.
messed
Hold on,
you
bro.
up, let
Bro, you
America
know I
fix you.
love you like a brother. Y'all ask you,
Yes, sir.
you said that you finna tell me how he's chaos, and you
I just
literally
said it.
started talking about something else. Go ahead, my
I
brother.
did. I'm saying, Hustle Smart, that if America messed him up, let America fix him. America does not have to. Africa should not be the rehab for America's Kool-Aid. Let
Police.
America fix him.
You
Like,
asked
no,
that
we
But
don't
then
need to
hold
fix
on,
him.
but you didn't,
Hold on, hold on, hold
no,
on.
they didn't say that about
Police.
Dave Chappelle. So why would you? That just like saying that just like the psychiatric ward saying that, you know what? Hey, you got destroyed somewhere. Don't come over there. It doesn't matter where I go get my help from. Gas him up. If I go talk to a bum on the corner and he saved my life, I don't give a damn where that information come from. If he can go to Africa and get some sanity the same way Dave Chappelle, that I don't even understand your thought process on that, bro, because I think deliverance can come from any form. So think about what you're saying. You just said if America tear them down, then Africa can't heal them. That's just like saying, man, you know what? I'm gonna go to this spring pool over here in Iran. Iran is gonna help me heal my wounds, or help me heal my skin.
Police. Like just 10 minutes ago, you were talking about how Kanye is too emotional and how he's not handling business right.
No,
But
I
like
never said that, bro. You
said he was too
your ears is
emotional.
off.
You
No, I
said he was
didn't.
too emotional.
I said that his business is good. I said his only problem is he's a bad spokesman. He's a
But you
bad
said he's
spokesman.
emotional as well. You said
I did not. I said that he's
Yo,
a bad. I
can
did
go
not.
back on
See,
the text.
you know what the good thing about me is that I listen. I turn my nigga ears off
You
and
said
I
he's
listen real
emotional.
good. So what I'm trying to tell you that I never said that. What I said was bro. If you, I'm gonna repeat what I said. What I said was that the only flaw that Kanye had, that he's a bad spokesman for his business, and that he needs to get somebody else to talk for him. That's it.
Nah, you say he's emotional, but that's beyond
Okay,
the point.
well, if I did say he's emotional, then that he just like any other black man. Then, but go ahead, my brother.
That's beyond the point, though. But everybody here wants Kanye to go to Africa. We're not discouraging him at all.
I don't want Kanye to go to Africa. No, Gas don't want him there.
Gas and Mom said I don't want him to go.
Let Kanye stay in LA.
Real quick. You're talking about how
Kanye is not
Kanye
even
is
in Africa.
You're talking about how
you don't
Kanye.
want him going to Africa.
How do you know where I am?
You're talking about how Kanye.
How do you know where I am, sir? Are you checking my VPN? Stop with the CIA stuff, man. Stop searching my VPN, Go Black.
Let me say this one thing real quick.
Tell him where you at, Gas. Tell him where you at.
He's in
You're talking about how Kanye
Northeast America.
You're talking about how Kanye is brainwashed with white ideals and white ideologies and whatnot, and that's why he shouldn't go to Africa. But there's people right there in Africa who are again that same kind of brainwashing as you claim Kanye is going, but it doesn't prevent them from working in Africa. Like for example, that one time I was watching Go Black to Africa, and he had this orphanage he went to where like there were like images of like white kids on the walls and whatnot, and he switched it up. So that's an example of Africans who are getting brainwashed in their own homelands and are getting taught these white ideologies that you claim Kanye has. Are you saying they shouldn't be in Africa or?
Any
Look,
African
Can I
I
can I say something?
okay. Let the
Can I
sister
say
get it because
something
she's
real
been
quick?
patient. Get it, sister.
Let me say something.
You took over your
So
show,
we keep
Dinah. Tell the
saying
other
that
people where they speak next.
first of all, I was one who mentioned chaos because Kanye West is chaos. Even Jay-Z stayed the fuck away from that man. Two, all his businesses that this man ever had was owned by white people. Adidas, Nikes. So he's not bringing
Listen,
That is 100% not true.
that's 99.99% of black people.
Yes.
He's selling to black people, but the owners are not black people. So when he goes to Africa,
Again, that's 99.99% of black folks.
Okay, well then tell me who's the owner of the Nikes then? The
But
CEO?
Dinus, why are you guys doing this?
Like I said, that's like 98% of black people.
Okay, if that's the case, think about it, Dinus.
No. You're not
You
understanding
had
what I'm saying.
ShopRite.
Like, what I'm
Let her finish. Go ahead. NGTO 92. Go ahead.
Okay. What I'm trying to say is that yes, majority of people are black people, but the owner, the people who started the business in the first place, are white people. So he's not bringing black businesses; he's bringing white people business.
What I'm telling you, that's the majority of black people in America.
Over majority.
Sister, what they're basically saying is that if you're doing business in America, you're still going to have ties to the white, power structure in terms of access to capital. But what I want to point out is, and no one's saying, I'm not the guard of Africa to tell who can get into Africa. Whatever you get to Africa, go. I don't care. What I'm saying is this: you had, for example, ShopRite was in Nigeria, right? They pulled out because of business difficulties. MTN has faced business difficulties in Nigeria. I'm only speaking of Nigeria because that's where I actively do business, right? No, ShopRite is still there. No, but it's like a license deal. The actual company themselves, they've licensed it out, I believe, right? So what I'm saying is this, Dinus, is that there are business difficulties that one will face when they go into Africa. I believe Walmart has been trying to penetrate the African market, particularly in South Africa, and they've been losing money. I mean, this is freaking Walmart, right? This is one of the best of the best in terms of business models, and they're facing difficulty in Africa. So all I'm saying is that when you're going to do business in Africa, there are different ways that you could go about it, and you must be well researched. And that's all I'm saying. I'm giving people what the business people say, caveat emptor, right? Just buyer beware. Understand that's not negativity. That's not pushing people away. That's just saying, hey, listen, look, even Africans are getting scammed when they go back there. So I don't want anyone to become disillusioned because that's when they start making videos about countries not being good places to put their money in. But go ahead, sister.
Are you saying Kanye wouldn't be willing to take the risk because he would be putting up so much money and he could possibly lose?
Well, he didn't put up any money from what we see, right? Did he put up any money with the Gap deal, with the Adidas, with the Nike? I don't know. I don't check his business models. I'll be honest. Unless it's Robert Smith or Dangote or you're like a real black industrialist, I'm not checking for you. I'm listening to people like I said, Sam Zell, Mike Milken, Warren Buffett. I'm listening to people like Charlie Munger, actual white businessmen. I'm looking at the Aramco, the Saudi Arabians and how they're doing business. I'm looking at Tata, right? Those are my heroes in business. I'm looking at the Chinese. I'm looking at the guy who started Alibaba. That's who I'm looking at. I'm not paying attention to this Negro Love and Hip Hop Forbes BS list where Jay-Z owns 0.0001% of a company and we're all kissing his ass. Y'all can have Jay-Z. I'm not a hater, but I'd rather look at somebody else than look at Jay-Z. I'm just being real.
What business do you do?
What I'm gonna say is that I think Kanye West should focus elsewhere outside of Africa.
What the thing about it is that's but the thing about it is 54 countries. I mean, when you started talking, you kept saying Ghana.
No.
Ghana. What I'm
Tell me
saying
you've
is
never been to Africa.
he
Now
can
tell
go to
me.
any country. What I'm saying is that the same way in the United States, we can't say stop nobody from conducting business with the government. If the
You
government
can't
says
compare
that
countries to
somebody
continents.
can come in there and conduct business, and come in there, a person that it always shocked me that a person that's not running a business, a person that's not running a corporation, a person that's not employing anybody will tell somebody that's employing somebody that's running a corporation that have multiple bank accounts, that have multiple saving accounts, that have multiple retirement accounts, will tell somebody else what they should not be doing. See, it's all just based on gossip. When you listen,
I
when you
wanted to
sit
say
there,
something.
no,
I
you
wanted to
can
say
finish.
something.
I'm gonna let you finish.
No,
What I'm
no, no, no,
saying
no,
is
sir.
that
Let me talk,
what I'm
finish,
saying
and then
is
you can
that to
go.
say what
You're
somebody
interrupting.
that don't do
You are
what you're not
loud and being
doing is off
interrupting.
the chain. But
Lower
go ahead
your
and continue.
voice. You
Go
are
ahead.
loud. Lower your voice.
Turn
What
your
I'm
volume
trying
down.
to say is, you said that there are 54 countries. You're absolutely right. When Ghana did the year of return, when Black Americans went to Ghana, that same year, Somalia was bombed by the United States of America. Did you know that?
What the hell they got to do with how much a mango
Let me
costs in
finish.
Uganda?
Let me finish. What I'm trying to tell you is you're telling me you've never been to Africa, which makes sense. Yes, there are 54 African countries. However, when something happens in one country, it affects everybody else. That's what we're trying to tell you. That is how Africa works. Do you understand what I'm saying?
That don't make that. Now you know what, Dinus? You tell me this, Dinus. Let's throw it to you and go black. Well, you telling me what happened in Benin has something to do with what happened in South Africa, Dinus?
No.
Go black, go black. What happens in Gambia? Does that have anything to do with what happened in Zimbabwe? Go black.
Not directly, no.
It definitely don't. See, this is what you call conflating.
Well, how can you ask Black Americans against Africans?
It doesn't.
That's the
See,
question.
that's the thing. You're sitting up. We're talking to people that's on the ground. We're talking about people that does business over there. Go
And I'm
black.
also
Go.
from
Hold
there.
on.
My family's from there.
It's
I have
fine.
business there. I have land there.
But we're
You
talking to people
can't
that
tell
actually
me what
doing
my culture
business.
is without you not even knowing what I'm talking about.
Let's ask you then, Miss Ninja. Do you do business in Africa?
What the fuck did you just call me? What did you call me?
I said your name is NGT, right?
That's not what you said. What?
Hold on. What did I say then? What did I say?
I mean what you said, so you can repeat what you said. And why are you yelling? I told you to lower your voice.
Hold on. Let me tell you something. But let me tell you something. You must the first time you ever listen to me. If I want to cuss somebody out or talk to somebody out the way, I have no problem doing it. I have no problem doing it. Believe me, I am professional. I'm professional with using profanity and shouting. But don't sit up there and say something. But don't sit up there and lie and say something that I did not say. We have 7 people on this. We have 7 people on this channel, and they ain't called you out your name enough. But if you want me to call you out your name, I will. But I did not call you out your name at all.
That's not what you said, because Alex B said what you said.
He said your name. He said NGTO or some shit like that.
Exactly.
I thought he said it's Ninja or something like that.
No, I said NGTO.
Yeah, he was trying to pronounce your name. But anyways,
that's the problem with black people. They look for a reason. Didn't I tell you they go black? They look for a reason.
Sip, let's pass it out. Let's pass it to Alan, and Alan will pass it to Alex. Go ahead, Alan.
Again, I don't. Everybody's here talking about how much money he makes and also. So what my only concern is this. All right, I would love for him to go someplace else and to finally start something on his own, because that's what he should have been doing in the first place. Okay, so I have no problem with Kanye going to Africa. I think anybody who has a problem with going to Africa that's problematic to me. However, we cannot sit here and act as if his past performances and the way he talks, even currently, isn't a problem, and that we as black people shouldn't be able to hold him to a standard of behavior. The problem with black people is that we don't hold people to a standard of behavior, and then when they act erratic, which is what I would say his actions have been in the past, then we and things go wrong, we want to say it's because of discrimination. It's not because of discrimination. It's because of it, and it not totally. It has to do with the fact that he has no decorum and he doesn't know how to act, and he needs to get that his mind right before he goes over. I'm sorry, to do anything. And that's the only point I'm trying to make, as far as Kanye is concerned. He he should definitely get out of America and do something different. But I have way more admiration for somebody like Akon, who's been trying to lead people to in that direction, than I would for Kanye, who hasn't really truly indicated that he's willing to make that move at all.
Look, Dynast, I just want to say this, right? I
Hold on,
look,
hold on.
hey, it is what it is for people to say whatever they want to say about,
Alex was next. Go ahead, Alex.
All right, good.
All right. Lastly, I want to say, I'm a big Kanye fan. Like, I like all his music. I like all his albums. I like him as a person. You know what I mean? Even though I think he does do some stupid shit, but I want him to bounce back. I want him to be a billionaire again, multi-billionaire and whatnot. In order for him to bounce back with what he's done in the recent month or so and all the people he's pissed off, he's gonna have to find a place, build infrastructure that is equal to or even as better than the infrastructure he was getting from Nike, as far as factories, as far as workers, as far as research and development, as far
You
as
mean Adidas?
yeah, Adidas and Nike, because he was at Nike first and then Adidas. Yeah, you're right. But yeah, as far as like all that infrastructure he has to build himself, and there has to be like a mentality shift there where he's willing to do all of this. Otherwise, he's just gonna still be relying on the same people he was relying on with the past contracts, you know. And if he doesn't do what I just said as far as the infrastructure, then I don't see him getting away from that leash he has on him, as he says, that I could see him going back to the same people he just cussed out and looking for, a deal.
Look, I just want to say this real quick, Dynast. Hey, people can do whatever they want. One, in terms of money, I don't think money should dictate a person's morals and culture. So for me, there are a lot more things that come before money. Money is not my culture. Money is not a determinant of who I am. So just because a person might earn more than you, I don't think that that person should be put on a pedestal in terms of, because as Hustle Smart says, some of these people are having, excessive debauchery on their downtime, and they're presenting us an image. So I don't think money is the predeterminate to how one should follow one's example. And the other part I'm going to say is this. When Kanye West or whatever he decides to do, that's his decision, right? If he chooses to go to Africa, that's great. If he chooses not to, that's great. But when we're on these panels, right, and people are saying, well, what I do, and they, like I always say, they make it these personal anecdotals, and that's great, right? But at the end of the day, I always tell people, more people are worried about what somebody else is doing, yet they're not worried about the hole that their dentist has his finger in before he puts it in their mouth. You should be worrying about what hole your dentist puts his finger in before he puts it in your mouth, before your operation or your procedure, than worrying about what somebody does in their personal time. So unless somebody's willing to provide tax documents, financial statements, balance sheets, profit and loss statements, then we should just, cut with the whole personal, what do you do on Thursday? You eat chicken on Friday? Your grandma's a breakdancer. Your uncle's a babalawo. It's just silly. Let's focus on the strength of the idea and the strength of the argument. If it's strong, it's strong. If it's not, it's weak and it doesn't stand. But that's just all I want to put out there.
I get you. That's that individualism. That's that individualism that we do good. But you know what? Let me tell you something, gas them up. The one thing that shocks me, that with black people, we have to be individual for as our success in business, because it's more likely that somebody's either gonna tear you down or sit back. I'll put it like this. It's like the old saying is, like, some people, they won't help you hunt, but they damn sure sit there and eat with you. You get what I'm saying? They won't help you chase down the animal, But after you chase it down, after you kill it, after you clean it, skin it, cook it, you know what I'm saying? Then you got a choice. You can either invite this person over there to eat your food, or you can eat it by yourself. See, that's where when I always talk to Didas about his business and my business. And so a lot of other successful black men business is mostly a one-person business. Because we just don't operate, we don't operate as a unit. No, we don't operate as a unit as far as conducting business. But when I see white people, Iranian people, but that gas them up, they'll have their retarded brother working in the room with the doors closed, and he's sitting up there hailing all the contracts and hailing all the building permits. You get what I'm saying? What I'm saying is that they don't look for a face. They don't look for swag. They don't look for a personality. They don't look for some type of clout to work with people. You get what I'm saying?
Well, you know why that is?
Go
It's
ahead,
because I'm gonna let you get your wisdom. And I say it all the time.
Go ahead.
Africans are losing it too. It's because they have a culture that they depart from. Right, a Chinese person, right, with the Mandarin, the Cantonese, they have different clans. They have the Mosuo, they have different clans in China that they depart from, and they have rules. One of the people that I like the examples that he sets. I'm not saying I look up to any man or anything like that. Habib Nurmagomedov, right, and the people from Dagestan, right. These guys, money doesn't sway them per se. You see that they hold on to their Dagestani culture. They're still Islamic. They conduct themselves a certain way. They do business a certain way. So I'm saying that black people in America, I don't know, I'm an outsider, I'm a tether. Get that culture together and the rules as to where people are going to depart from. And then you can start to see that example, like you said, with the Iranians and Africans too. We throw away our culture on a daily basis. Like I said all the time, you watch Nollywood, right? You watch these shows on Netflix, they already starting to put the androgynous male. Every Nollywood film I see on Netflix, the Nigerian man is an abusive man and the woman is single. Now they got the stuff in the South African film because that's where they always try to bring it in. The girl is going back home and she's supposed to be married, but her love is a woman. No disrespect to anybody's, orientation. I'm not mad at that. But these are the things. So we in Africa are throwing away our culture too.
Yeah.
All for $1. That's what I'm saying. Hustle smart.
That's what they're doing with FBA and 8-0s too. I mean, that's why they keep talking about staying on code. I mean, and this is kind of why I like the FBA movement and stuff.
But it got to go deeper than just stay on code. There has to be rules, and the rules got to be okay. How do we want our young boys? Look, if you go to Eastern Parkway in New York City, in Brooklyn, you'll see a young Hebrew, Hasidic, or Jewish boy. He knows by age 13, I'm doing A, B, and C. That's my expectations. Same thing for the young girl. They have cultural expectations. And if you don't meet them, the community looks at you to say, hey, how can we help you meet those expectations? Or why are you not meeting those expectations? And they will shun and exclude you. Same thing with the Amish. Black people have to, even in Africa, because like I say all the time, they're throwing away their culture for pennies on the dollar. But black people in America particularly have to have rules and codes, not just B1, A1. No, they got to be rules of conduct. There has to be a chain of command. There has to be hierarchy. Like Hustle Smart, I give that example. He had a family member, I ain't putting your business out there, that was going through some things. And when that thing was happening,
no. Say it like it is. She was involved with a murder. Bro, there ain't no shame in my game, bro. She was involved with a murder. That's what she was involved in. Go ahead, my brother.
Yes, sir. Well, like I said, I ain't want to speak. I don't want to do the chatty patty, but he as an elder should have been able to go in there and put his foot down. But like I said to the brother, I said, if you tried to do that, his own family would run against him and say, mind your business and blah, blah, blah.
They would call the police on me and tell me that that's their child to stay away. And you know what? She end up getting 15 years in prison. She's right now in Pulaski State Penitentiary right now serving 15 years. Because they didn't want to listen to nobody else. Go ahead, my brother.
Now, Hustle Smart, so when you comparing that with the Iranians, that's why the Iranians and other people who come here have something to depart from. And I hope brothers like you, Dynast, Kala, and Brandon can come to the table. Philip, y'all can figure out, rules and put these things in the manual so people can depart from those rules.
Guess what? Let me tell you like this, man. Let me make it real short and simple. It's no rules. If you ever played the, Diners know that for a fact. If you ever played the game roll hide football, it's to throw the ball up in the air and everybody run to it. That's how black people are. It's no rules and regulations.
Sim Police, we called it smear the queer.
Smear the queer. I like that. I like that.
Yeah, I got it. But that we when I was in school, we were told to stop calling it that, but we called it smear the queer.
I get it, but this is the way we are. Is nobody working? That's why when everybody started, I loved it when 3 or 4 months ago, everybody was talking about, let's talk about the solutions. Talk about solutions. It's no solutions in the black community, because nobody agree with anything. The only thing we agree on is some collard greens, some chicken, and some ribs, and shaking your stinking ass and worshiping white Jesus. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say that we're a sellout culture. You know what I'm saying? And we act just like the Africans. You know what I'm saying? We're descendants of the African. The African is the original sellout. You know what I'm saying? We're the sellouts in America, but we was raised up in the belly of the beast. So, you know what I'm saying? We're a little bit more adept. We know who the enemy is, but even though we know who the enemy is, we still see each other as the enemy. You get what I'm saying? So therefore, that's what we have against us, Diners. We know that the white people are the enemy, but we see each other as the enemy. Like, think about this, Diners. We know the white people are the enemy, but we won't attack them, but we'll attack each other. What do you call that, Diners? Hold on, let me say it one more time. We know that we claim that white people are oppressing us, Diners, but I turn around and kill my next door neighbor that's black. What is that called, Diners? What's the definition of that?
Hold on. Well, see, Police Academy. See, you don't understand, brother. You don't understand, brother. You don't understand. See, it's called crime by proximity, brother, because white folks know white folks too, and Mexicans know Mexican folks too. And so why we got what's black on black crime, brother? See, that's just something that's just made up by the white man to demonize the black man, brother. That's what you talking about, brother. See, that is why it's
preach
things up, brother. It's called crime by proximity, brother. Ain't no such thing as black on black crime, brother.
So what you saying
preach,
is,
brother.
So what you saying is,
brother.
So what you saying is we didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us. Red fish, blue fish, knick-knack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone. Let me go get my bean pie and a pork chop sandwich. Is that what you saying, my brother?
That's what
he's saying. Shea butter, onks, and Nefertiti, Amin Ra, whatever.
You know the good thing about this whole thing is the conscious community. You know, I see that a lot of black people have woken up, and regardless of what you believe in, if the chick want to do some yoni steaming with garlic butter sauce, is that what you want to do? Fine. Anything to bring down the temperament and our attitudes and our way, I bring it. I go for it. If you believe in picking up a stone out the backyard and wearing it around your neck, and you saying that it helps you out, if you want to burn some goddamn bushes and talking about you saging the spirits, you know what I'm saying, and the freak devil, if that's what you want to do, anything to calm down the temperament, you know what I'm saying, because at the end of the day,
check the back chat.
I got you. At the end of the day, we got this. We are violent towards each other. Let me tell you something. If black people was violent towards white people the same way we was against each other, y'all wouldn't hear Hustle Smart say a goddamn thing, because at that point it would be equal. You get what I'm saying? But you cannot tell me that these people got all the power. You know what I'm saying? They the oppressor. You know what I'm saying? And they employ you at the same time. See, I'm gonna tell you one of the greatest Jedi from Star Wars. This is a Star Wars reference, y'all. The greatest Jedi mind trick that white people ever do to black people was to bring us over here, slave us, beat us, rape us, disenfranchise, butt break us, and then now when they release you, think about it like this. After they got through doing you any type of way, they release you, and now they act like they scared of you. And now they brought up a system to oppress you. And now that you oppress, instead of you going against the people that oppress you, you're going against the person, your next door neighbor. You know what I'm saying? You can catch an Uber ride. You can walk. Black people walk all the damn time. Black people got buy cars all the time. You can ride in any neighborhood and rob and steal. But the way the system is set up is that when you do something to a black person, you can, as long as you can get away before the police get there, you got a chance of getting away. And we all know that. We all know it ain't no cameras gonna come out in a black neighborhood when somebody get killed. Right now in Atlanta, it's 3 to 4. It was 3 to 4 people got killed this week, and all they did was talked about it over the news. No reporter showed up, no camera showed up. You get what I'm saying? But let it be that a white person, kicked the black girl out of Walmart for trying to steal. That's what's gonna get the publicity, because we are emotional based people. So long as they can keep us emotionally charged, we'll always think the same way, and therefore we'll never see each other. Some black people would rather see a white person making money than Dynasty make money, because some black people don't.
And that's facts. And that's facts, guys. Let's take a quick commercial break. Somebody asked about the Nigeria tour. Go to Danfo, DANFO.Africa. Again, go to Danfo, DANFO.Africa. Click on travel, then click on Nigeria. But we're going to take a quick commercial break.
Hello, I'm Dynasty Amir.
So I reached out to another friend of mine. I said, look, I need to go on vacation somewhere. Where should I go? He said, go to Africa. And not only am I going to go, I'm going to explore a new country. So I went to Tanzania, South Africa, Namibia, Mali, Senegal, Morocco, Liberia, Namibia, Kenya, the Voodoo Festival in Ouida, Gambia, Togo, Cote d'Ivoire. Sierra Leone, Ghana, Nigeria. It's been a beautiful experience, just learning more about our culture, our indigenous culture. So Uhuru means freedom in Swahili. I'm in search of my roots. In finding that, I would experience my Uhuru, which is freedom.
Till next time, Dynasty Amir, I'm out.
Listen, if you have not bought the documentary In Search of Uhuru, again, if you have not bought the documentary In Search of Uhuru, go to searchforuhuru.com, go to searchforuhuru.com and buy the documentary. Again, go to searchforuhuru.com and buy the documentary. Links in the chat room and link is on the screen.
Sim, I want to ask you a question. You talked about the Iranians. How do you think, if you and Dynasty, let's say you guys had the power to come up with, maybe not even copying the Iranians, but copying some sort of cultural rules, structures, and norms to depart from, how would you go about it, and what would it look like for Black people in America?
This is the thing. Let me explain it the best way I can. It cannot happen because of the infrastructure part. That's why when the guy was talking about, I think it was Alex B was talking about the infrastructure part. The thing about it, as long as somebody else is handling the infrastructure part, we're gonna always be in trouble. The one thing about the business models in America, to build generational wealth, you're gonna have to have the infrastructure. It's gonna have to be some brick and mortar. Just like my business, Gas 'em Up, my son don't want to do it. Don't get me wrong. He loved the PlayStation 5. Matter of fact, I'm buying him an iPhone Pro Max IMAX Pro this weekend. You know, so I'm flying him down from DC Wednesday. He loves all the perks of my job. He loved being at the house. You know what I'm saying? He loved that. You know what I'm saying? But he does not want to do what I do. You get what I'm saying? And on top of that, he would have to do my exact job for me to pass it down to him. I don't own a brick and mortar. You know what I'm saying? See, that's the difference with all those other group of people. They're on the building. They lease the land. You get what I'm saying? So therefore, they can have their daughter or son to be like, okay, you know, you don't have to do my exact job. What you like, customer service? What you like, internet? You know what I'm saying? Handle the social media part. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is they're able to, when you have a brick and mortar, gas them up, you're able to produce more jobs. You get what I'm saying? You can make up a job title for people that would be helpful for your business. But when it's a one-man show like my business, when it's a one-man show like Dinah's business, if Dinah's son don't want to do tours, then his son is going to end up doing something else. I pass it to you, Dinah. Is that true or not?
It's true.
So unless we do the brick and mortar, gas them up, it'll be nothing. Now think about it like this. Everybody's in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Think about it like this. With all the millionaires and billionaires in America, black people, it's not one high rise in all the buildings in America, not one that a black person or a black owned group has built. So that means that every single
I gotta look that up. Keep
yeah,
going.
please look that one up. You know what I'm saying? It's not one high rise.
Wait, they don't own it or they ain't build it?
That is the same way like the FBA talking about we built America. Hell, if somebody's standing over you with a whip and a horse telling you to put that rock right there, telling you to put that brick right there, you know, you can say you built it, but if you're not capitalizing on what you built, then it don't make no sense. Think about it like this, Gassimo. Say for instance, I'm standing at the store, I'm at a grocery store, and a person be like, man, you know what? That truck in your business, I created that business, but he broke and disgusted. But I'm sitting here making $200,000 a year. So what does it matter if he brags about if he originated the business, if he's the creator of the business? But if he ain't got the patent, you know what I'm saying? If he don't have his name on it, then he's just a person that's just talking about it. It's the same thing with our music. You know what I'm saying? The same thing with by our culture. If you don't own it, you talking about what you created has nothing to do with it if everybody else is making profit off of it. If you go in your backyard, gas them up, and you get a spoon out your backyard and say GW, and you go to a pawn shop and say, hey, I think this come from George Washington. It's worth, you know, he say, okay, I'll give you $40 to $50 for it. And then he go take it and sell it for $100 million. You'll be the fool to sit up there and talk about, well, I found the spoon first. I found it in my backyard. That's just not how a capitalist society works. You know what I'm saying? It's who's making the money. It's who name on the building. So now, even though this person is saying that they created my business, but when you look it up on the taxes, when you look it up on the do my I-9 form on my taxes, it says my name. It says my business. It don't say shit about him. He makes no money off of what I do, even though he's the one that created it. And that's one of the things with black people. We create a lot of stuff. We invent a lot of stuff. I admit some stuff was stolen, but a lot of shit was sold for a cheap price, because a lot of times we don't have the backing of the black people to invest. A lot of companies that started from nothing had it, even Jeff Bezos. He'll tell you, he had his mama, sister, cousin, uncle, grandmama. He had all these people that invested in his business to now be the second richest man in the world. My business model, you know, nobody invested in me, gas them up, Diners. I had to get it out the mud, and that's the story for a lot of black people. We don't have investors in our business. We have to get it ourselves. You have black people that look down on
Mark, you know, when you saying that, and I think you're absolutely right. The problem of us as black men in particular, I can only speak as my experience as a black man, is our access to capital. right? I'm all about, registering your C Corp, getting your Paydex score up and getting your personal credit as high as possible to get access to those business loans and things like that. And I try my best to do them, but you're right, getting that access to capital. But I will say this, like I gave the example about the podcast with those guys earlier in the stream. I said that part of it is because I don't think we respect each other enough to do good contractual business, right? So if I'm with, for example, right, if I say Hustle Smart, you're in the logistics industry. I want to do this and this with you. Look, here's the contracts. Take it over to your lawyer and make sure if you don't like whatever you put in so that you are taken care of, right? But now we'll compare that, and I'm not talking about anyone in particular. I heard, I wasn't there, but allegedly when these guys for Rockefeller were on tour, they were giving them $100 and state property jackets in state property jeans. Right now, I'm not saying that they're not grown men, that they shouldn't negotiate, but realistically, why would you give someone that type of contract? You get what I'm saying? That's why I was giving the example of Mike Tyson. Like when he had white handlers with him with custom out on these guys, his business was right. Soon as Don King comes around, my brother only in America, now he's getting screwed over. So I agree with you. We're not getting access to capital, but I think part of the problem is we're not open with each other, whether it's in America or whether it's in Africa. We don't sit down there and say, hey, listen, look, Hustle Smart, what's the worst case scenario if you want to walk away and I want to walk away so both of us don't get our feelings hurt? All right, we put those stipulations in the contract and now we go forward from there. So the minute I don't live up to my end, you can walk away and be peaceful. The worst would just say, the guy's lazy or the guy's a bum or I hate the guy. You get what I'm saying? Does that make sense to you?
It makes sense when you have two people that speak in the language of business. The problem is that that's foreign language to black people because most black people are employees. Let me tell you something. If you can be at a job and if somebody at your job is saying, look, hey, I'm selling this, I got this product or whatever, people won't support that. But if you tell them, hey, I'm gonna leave this job and go get another job, they'll be like, yeah, use me as a reference. You know what I'm saying? Put me down as a reference. I'll say something good for you. You get what I'm saying? We don't support entrepreneurship because for whatever reason, we have this weird thing of wanting to see another black person do better. That's why when a black person got money, we'll sit up there and be like, oh, money ain't everything. You a goddamn lie. Yes, it is. I'm telling you, when I sit up there and sign for my house, money meant everything. When I went to buy my truck, money went everything. When I had to do bonding, so a lot of people don't understand what transfer. You have to bond your products. You have to have a bonding license. When I had to do my bonding, they wanted to look at bank statements. They want to look at yearly growth. They want to look at my insurance. They want to look at how many accidents I have. You know what I'm saying? On my own time percentages. All of that shaped the contract that I had. You get what I'm saying? And this simple stuff, I just had to have the paperwork to do it. You know what I'm saying? But you just think about when most black people go to a car lot, an apartment, they're praying that they can get a loan. They're praying that they can pay rent. Think about it. Black people are praying to white Jesus that they can get a job for working for somebody else. Yeah, I ain't no white Jesus work like that. You know what I'm saying? Good. I pray for Jesus to help me get this job, to make somebody else rich. I always say this thing that when I was working at this place before I start running my own business. And it was two black dudes out there, and the white dude that would own the place was called CSE. They deal with the tractor supply, all that stuff. And I think the dude had like a Ferrari, but he had like an older Ferrari. And the two dudes, this black guys, right? They out there joking. And he was like, man, hey, when you gonna get he like, hey, boss, you know how black people talk. Hey, boss, man, when you gonna get another Ferrari? And you know what the white dude said? As soon as you clock in and get back to work.
I mean, once you say that, you ain't got nothing else to say again.
As soon as you clock in and get back to work, that's when I'll get one. So that means that while you making somebody else rich, you get what I'm saying? But that's what we like to do. We like to do that. We don't like to work for nobody else. That's one thing that I know. Let me tell you something. I was up there in Oklahoma, and you know what? These people was creating this bid. They had the room to create a business. All these redneck that we call dumb white people got together and said, well, you know what? If you create this business, we'll all work for you because we want this building to be here. You know what I'm saying? You tell me in the history of where a black community fought for a business to be in their neighborhoods. You tell me that we ain't talking about no wing shop. We ain't talking about no goddamn beauty supply shop. We ain't talking about no beauty salon, no nail shop, no rib shack, no barber shop. We're talking about a business of shipping and receiving consolidated freight. We have a black community came together and said, you know what? This will be good for putting this business in the black community. You know what I'm saying? It does not happen. But when I go all over the state, you have white people lobbying. They got signs up. You know what I'm saying? When Amazon and all these people are coming through there to survey the land, these white people are standing on the side of the road with billboards. Please bring the business here. You get what I'm saying? Because they know that they're going to be the ones running it. And
No,
they
you're
have
right.
no
Uncle
problem
Smart.
doing it.
And not only that, like, you know, that's why I'm Roll Tide, right? You know, no disrespect to Dynast and his love of his unnecessary support of Georgia, but he'll come over to the Roll Tide side sooner than later. But you know, after I knew that would trigger him. But shout out to Alabama, man. All Alabama. I love Alabama. Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, Montgomery. I love Alabama. But, you know, I spent time down there. And one thing I found interesting in Alabama, just in the South period, I saw examples of you know, white people who were not necessarily related, but they were doing business together. Millions of dollars worth of business. Had organizations, had, you know, HVAC companies, trucking companies, all kind of things. And they weren't necessarily blood related. But, you know, it was my college buddy. We had a great idea. We worked together and we did this. I saw two guys they were in medical sales, medical device sales and pharmaceuticals. And they were high school and college buddies. They both went to UA. And instead of competing, they decided to lock down the entire market of Tuscaloosa. And I'm sitting there like, wow, man, you know, like, I'm not saying that black men, we don't do this, but I'm just hoping that black men can learn to stop with the homeboy business model and just, what's the worst case scenario that's not being negative, put it in the contract so everybody can walk away in case this goes bad, and then depart with positivity and hard work and good business from there. Because I'm just tired of hearing these sad examples of, you know, contracts. And then, you know, the white people give us messed up contracts. Other people give us messed up contracts. Then when we get a contract, you know, Dame Dash in Currency. Dame Dash, a great businessman, right? I don't know his money, but Currency, the rapper, wasn't happy doing business with Dame Dash, right? You know, it's just like, you know, why are some people complaining about the contract Suge Knight was giving them? But you'll hear these guys come on, they'll talk black power and black this and black empowerment, but then you still giving people, you know, terrible contract. I might as well stay on the plantation and deal with this white guy. If I'm gonna deal with the black man, he's gonna screw me over.
Well, you know, it's just like this. Look at the chat for a second. Do you see how, you know, when I said that, you know, it's not one high rise in America that's owned by black people? You know, the reason why I said that is to get black people to search. Because, you know, a lot of people are like try to prove me wrong because I'm the people champ. I know y'all really love me deep down. You know what I'm saying? I know y'all really love Hustle Smart deep down. But the thing about it is I wanted them to see because I know that they're building one. But think about it like this, gas them up. We've been here over 400 to 600 years from slavery. I'm not talking about the Aboriginals and all that. 600 years. And if in America, it's over maybe 2,000 to 3,000 skyscrapers in the United States. And if you're sitting here talking about one being built today that ain't even finished being built, with all these millionaires and all these billionaires that don't mind going to the strip club and throwing $75,000 to watch some hood booger shake her nasty ass hole all across the stage, slide across the goddamn floor, doing the mashed potato like James Brown. If you see all these people sitting around here buying $3 million, $4 million Bugattis, they buying $3-4 million worth of gold chain just to sit up there and flex on you. That's the funny part. Most of these entertainers, millionaires, billionaires, they do that to flex on you. Have you? I tell you what, gas them up and die this. Watch these same black people, these black millionaires and billionaires, when they go around rich white people. They don't dress like that. They ain't in there with 34 chains on. They ain't in there sagging their clothes. When the dude Robert Kraft invited Jay-Z, Meek Mills, and all the other rappers, Future, to his party, you know how they showed up at his party, gas him up in suit and tie. You get what I'm saying? They just show up looking like they got them on the trap finna sell you a $20 sack of hard. But that's how we do to each other. When we get around each other, all we do is stun on each other. Therefore, we're the only group of people that go buy a brand new car and go drive around in the worst neighborhoods. We go buy a brand new car and drive around in the worst projects. That's what we do. So we're not trying to give nobody a helping hand. We always stunting on each other. That's why we don't want to see the next man rise up. Now, if a white man rise up, we'll be like, oh man, that's what he's supposed to do. But when we see another black man or a black female rise up, we'll be like, oh man, what she had to do to get it? I know she had to fuck to do this. You get what I'm saying?
Well, let me ask you a question. Think about this.
We put a time limit. Go ahead, my brother.
No, I just want to ask you this because you going along. I want to ask you because what you just said. Think about with Kanye, right? And again, I'm not mad at Kanye, but predominantly it seems a lot of black people were buying his shoes. I've never bought any of them stuff, Yeezys, nothing. I don't buy nothing. I'm cheap. I buy all my stuff at Costco. But it's funny because Master P has a pair of sneakers out right now.
Mm-hmm.
Why is nobody buying Master P sneaker? Think about that. You get what I'm saying? Like everybody would buy the Yeezys, but nobody would buy the Master P's. And Master P is independently owned. That would actually make him a legit billionaire. If I think I don't know the numbers, but I'm just saying if 30%.
I'll be honest. The Master P shoes are ugly as hell. That's just me personally. I use the wrong term. They're not appealing. Now I love me some Ewings. I love me some Ewings though. I rock the hell out some Ewings.
Master P.
I don't know. Like I said, I buy stuff at Costco, so I don't got no fashion.
Master P does not put out a good product. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing with when they came out with the Baller brand, the BBB, those shoes for what is that?
The ball, Lavelle, LeBron.
Yeah, his shoes was not a quality shoe. You know what I'm saying? In order to produce something like that, I have seen it where those NBA players will go down there and they'll stick their feet in a mesh thing and they design shit. I'd never forget the day I was at Atlanta Hawks basketball game when Tim Duncan was playing. And I'm just looking down and I'm like, I had the same shoes that he had with Nike, but his shoes look totally different. That this motherfucker got 16, 17 shoes that his shoes almost look like pillows at the bottom. You know what I'm saying? So you got to have the research. You just can't produce anything. And a lot of these guys like Master P, they don't have that brick and mortar. They might have a warehouse. That's Kanye West's problem too. You know what I'm saying? He have a warehouse to store the product, but he's not producing anything. You know what I'm saying? So, that's where a lot of corporation and a lot of problem, a lot of black people have. Diners, I'm just going to tell you the truth. We don't want to pay nobody.
Hey, but simply, let me say this: Master P's chips, rap snacks, some shit's off the chain. I love rap snacks.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We're not buying the chips. We're not buying the shoes. Okay, what about the Starberries? I remember when those came out. Remember when Stephon Marbury made those sneakers and he made them kind of cheap?
They're not appealing. I'm sorry, that's the
They're
correct
not.
word.
They're
I'm
not
sorry,
appealing.
Hold on, Master P. If you watching this, I know you're not. I'm sorry for calling your shoes ugly. They're
No,
just
your
not.
shit sucks, Master P. Your shoes suck.
Come on.
But listen. I'm not gonna knock another man who put out a shoe. You know what I mean? But they just weren't appealing.
Well, maybe he doesn't have good black designers. Maybe we gotta send some good black designers to Master P to say, hey, listen, you know, the kids want to wear the shoes that look like a water bottle. I don't know, because like I said, I shop at Costco, so that should tell you my fashion sense.
Master P is not cool. Let me tell you the biggest thing, gas him up. Master P is not cool anymore. You know what I'm saying? They put him in the same category with Snoop Dogg. He's like an uncle. You know what I'm saying? Black people don't want to buy nothing from their uncle. Kanye West is all over the place, and he's still on with the clout. Master P don't get clout no more. And on top of that, when you talk to Master P, he's strictly being. And Master P is telling you straight up, if you ain't willing to invest 50, 75,000, don't even talk to me. Black people like this. Black people, in the words of O'Shea Duke Jackson, black people like buffoonery. You get what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? You'll get a chick that ain't got no sense in the world, you know what I'm saying? That can sit up there and shake her stinking ass and stand on her head and twerk. She'll sell more lingerie gear than a chick that's sitting up there telling you a business model with all her clothes on. We like to be entertained. Master P is not entertaining no more. You get what I'm saying? He's an old rich dude that just talking business, and his son this is the part that we was talking about earlier. Even though his son Romeo tried to rap, his career never took off. And like a lot of people always said, Diners, they never thought that Romeo was that serious about his rap career. You get what I'm saying? So therefore, it didn't translate. The same thing with Snoop Dogg's sons. They didn't follow. A lot of times it's a one and done. It's a rare thing that your kids is just as good as you. I mean, it's some exceptions. But for the most
Dinah,
part,
did you see Hustle Smart? Did y'all see Jadakiss and his dad on TV? He was on Good Morning New York. So Jadakiss, the father and the son, I was shocked, right? Jadakiss had a whole father and a mother. Yeah, he was telling us to be gangsters and be in the streets, but that's a whole nother conversation. His father was a commodities trader, particularly in coffee. Like, his father is very sophisticated. So Jadakiss is now coming out with a coffee brand, and they're selling it. It's kisscoffee.com, right? I don't drink coffee, but allegedly it might be good. But I was just shocked to say, wow, I'm happy that it's black business. It was black men. It was 3 generations. It was Jadakiss's father, it was Jadakiss, and Jadakiss's son. Now, mind you, Jadakiss's son, again, graduated from Clark, Atlanta, but, you know, he was telling us to be gangsters and be, you know, thugs, but his son went to college. I was just saying that to say that, you know, that I think is a great example of black male patriarchy and black male business. And I think perhaps you guys can look at that as a template for maybe that's the departure point for the culture or the standard going forward.
Yeah, so let me
I don't
tell
know
you
what you guys think.
Anytime I hear black people, let me say nothing what you said is wrong. Let me just say this before I say that. Before I say what I'm gonna say, nothing that you said is wrong. I agree with what you said 100%. But this is the problem why I say we're doomed. Do you not understand that even in what you're saying, you're basically telling black people we need to get to a starting line? Do you not understand that? You get what I'm saying? It's like where we need to start. That's why when you get anybody that jump on these shows, they always say we need to start doing this. But just based on the word start, that means that it's not being done. That means that we're doing something different. So no matter what solution that we give, we still will be 300-400 years behind. So not only the solution, Diners, you know what I'm saying? Now we have to get 43 million people to agree on that solution. Well, change that. I ain't gonna even say 40 million. Let's say 10%, Dinah. Let's say 4 million black people that sign up for the same solution. We're not even there, gas them up. We're not even in the race. We ain't even got the tennis shoes. We ain't even got the socks on. We ain't even stretch. We ain't did nothing. We're still sitting up here talking about every day what we need to do. By that definition, we ain't started. That means that we're one of the only group of people that dysfunction. Dysfunction makes a lot of money. It's a whole lot of money being made from black men being against black women. It's a whole lot of money being made by putting black women as the head of the black community.
Hey,
It's a
Sim,
lot.
sorry to interrupt you. And you brought up the dysfunction part. Do you notice that black people? You know what? I actually disagree with you, Simply, on one thing. Well, actually, I kind of agree with you because you brought this up earlier. Black people, we control the gossip, the online gossip industry.
Yeah, we have took it over. That's what I'm saying. We have took the gossip over. That's why you got people like, if y'all know who Lovely T is, you know, you got the Shade Room, you got all these people that are built on fallen entertainers, what they eating, what they drinking. You know what I'm saying? A person can wake up in the morning and say, I want some eggs and bacon, and they'll be like, see, they dissing somebody that don't eat it. It's the craziest thing in the world. But what it does is that it gives the gossip community have given black people a reason to sit around and do nothing, to sit around and stare at their phones all day. You get what I'm saying? And that's what I try to tell black people about running your business. You don't have time to stare at the internet all day. You ain't got time to stare at the other business person. Now, I understand what you said earlier, Gassimo, when you said that those are your heroes. I know that you didn't mean that, you know, white people your hero. I know you meant that you admire their business practices, but that ain't what black people heard.
No, but you know, it's funny. Yeah, you're right, because they skipped over. I mentioned Dan Gote. I mentioned that Daniel. I mentioned Mosefe.
Let me get them for you. See, black people, all they heard was, you know what I'm saying, gas him up. I told y'all he's a tether and he look up to white people. You know what I'm saying? See, that's how we look at things, because we don't hear, we just hear that the nigga ears only heard hero. But as a businessman, I heard business practices. See, when you talk about business practices, they have no idea. Most black people don't know what business practices is, because it's some white people telling them what time they need to clock in. It's a white person telling them what time they need to go on lunch break. You get what I'm saying? So you have black people driving 80 miles in a 25-mile-per-hour school zone, running to the time clock so they won't get another occurrence. You get what I'm saying? I'm talking about they slide into the current, to the time machine, because that's how we are. That's how we have created ourselves. So that's why even when we talk to people, oh, you know, I got to go ahead and go to sleep so I can get up early because I don't want to be late no more, because, you know, they be up there watching the time clock. You have, at certain jobs in America, Gassimo, you have the white manager sitting there standing at the time clock, standing there.
Yeah, I agree.
And black people still be, oh yeah, I'm finna get to my station. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times they tell you, especially if you work these production jobs, gas them up, when that machine start running, you better be at your post. But that's what we deal with for 30, 40 years, standing up. Like I could never work no job.
You got my email in the back chat, right? You got my contact in the back. Yeah, we're gonna link up.
It is nowhere in the world I can work a job for 20, 30 years where I'm standing on my feet for eight to 10 hours a day, where a white person gonna tell me, hey man, I know we ain't got no work, but you need to look busy. How the fuck I'm gonna look busy and if it ain't no work to do? You know what I'm saying? Or you'll send me home. You'll cut my paycheck. Or you sit up there watching my hours, and if I get 1 or 2 hours overtime, you know, you got certain jobs that if you get, they call it unauthorized overtime, where they'll write you up if you clock in too early or you stay over too late. But this is what we perpetuate, and we perpetuate that to our kids. So that's why at 14 or 16 years old, you can't wait for your child to say something that you don't like, so you can tell them that they got to go get a job. You get what I'm saying? Are you ready to put them out the house so they can be with their friends or whatever, working at McDonald's or Family Dollar, trying to pay for an apartment? We don't sit up there. We're selfish people. Don't get me wrong. We're emotional and we love ourselves some white Jesus. You know what I'm saying? He is the light. You know what I'm saying? But we are selfish people. So therefore we want, and most black people want to be free of our kids. You know what I'm saying? We like them from a distance. We like them to come back and on the holidays, whatever. But we're just not like that. And on top of that, we're not introducing. That's why with my son, I'm teaching him to be an entrepreneur. You get what I'm saying? I'm teaching him at a business, sell his comic books. You know, the only reason why I don't come on here and say because people would know who I am, and I know that based on my rhetoric, we got black people, and especially in this sector, gas them up, in this sector, we do this thing called docs and diners. You got black people calling people jobs, sending videos to
Yeah, man,
people.
don't do all that. Like I said, they're a bunch of haters and it's sick and it's sad. It's some CIA stuff, man. They trying to find your personal life.
A black
It's
person
ridiculous.
will hate you so much that they will want you to lose your income, and they'll be like, see, I got him. That's how ignorant we are, and it reverts to the street the same way two black men can have a disagreement and end up killing each other by the disagreement. So the same way with people online that don't like what you say,
They're
will
trying
try
to
to
kill
find.
you economically because they
They'll try to
angry.
kill you economically.
Yeah,
All
you're
right,
right.
Mr. Mike.
Let me pass the Experience Liberia. Go ahead, and I'll pass it to Kofi or Cuffy. Cuff.
Peace and
okay. Well, Liberia.
can you hear me? Can you hear me well?
Yeah, go ahead.
Peace and blessings to everyone. Thank you for having me on the show, Dynas. I want to say this. I agree with some of the points that was pointed out, and some I can see where you're coming from, and I understand, and I balance it out, and it's true to your point because everybody got their own truth. But for my instance, right, for my own situation, I grew up in the inner cities of Chicago. I left Chicago in the 6th grade because I was acting out. My mom and dad split, they left. I ended up going down south to Mississippi, and I grew up down there with my grandparents. But I had the best of both worlds. And when I tell people this, is when I was in the city, I had people that was out there selling dope, out there just doing anything and everything. And I picked up on it early. So when I came down and transitioned to down south, I learned a different perspective. But nobody owned anything. But I had that desire to go out there and not work for anybody. Now, even with that being said, I came from 3 generations. Well, I'm the 3rd generation of Army. So that was my way out because I put on a lot of different shoes and tried to perform in those shoes, but it didn't fit because I had my hand in drugs, all that stuff, right? But it's hard to actually go through when you don't have strong mentorship in that mindset of trying to own and to establish something. It's very hard because you don't know what right looks like. And so when you see it from a point of view of a white person, and you got the propaganda from what you see every day, you just think, okay, this is the norm and this is what it is. But I knew I had to come out of this matrix. This shit ain't right. Excuse my language for cussing, but it wasn't right because I knew my self-worth, and it has to be an inner thing. It has to be something in you. So I always say, and I tell my kids, I am the Joseph of my family. When I end up getting married to my wife from Liberia, and trust me, I played sports. I went to college. I was a fool. I was a knucklehead. I messed up in school. I lost my scholarship and all that stuff playing basketball. But I had to learn. But I end up gravitating because I said to myself when I was young, I'm going to marry me and a black or African woman. And you know, you say stuff when you're young, you don't know how things going to materialize, but it happened. I said I wanted a business. I said I wanted to be something besides this. I wanted more. And so when I bring things to my family members, they'll look at you like you're strange because they've been so conditioned. They've been so conditioned to just accept what's been given to them when you could be going out there to get more, right? Now, I was sitting back yesterday. I watched the segment that you had, Dynas, yesterday, and it came to my mind. And we talked about this a long time ago on a few episodes back about hip hop, right? Just look at this. We are the conduit to everything. as a African people, I'm not gonna say black because we're not a crayon, and as an African people, what we say is hot is hot. Let's just go back and you look at. So I was thinking about that when I was watching your segment that was on the other day. I went and I watched the video of self-destruction. How many of y'all remember that video?
Self-destruction. We headed
That
for
came
self-destruction.
right. That came out back in 1989, and what they said in that video is prevalent today.
Yep.
They killed that. Who did that? So we have to understand that we have to look into our inner selves and understand and value ourselves, what we bring to the table to go back to build a community, regardless of the parameters around you. Because what they had, they created a genre, what they said was never going to sell. It wasn't going to amount to anything. And now it's the number one thing that's moving. And look what they're pushing today. So the key to really influencing our people, because you just quoted self-destruction, the key to moving our people is to go back to the essence of where it started from, to get us to rock the African medallion, the high top fade, to get us thinking. And then not only that, let's look back to the people that we had who was there, that was able to give us some type of guidance to let us know who we were as an African. They got locked up. They got caught up in the system. And a lot of people want to say, oh, well, it's the system. You got to think. You react. For every action, there's a reaction. If you take the jobs out of the hood or out of the communities and you leave people and you incarcerate people, yeah, you got a choice. But a lot of us don't have that choice. And then a lot of us is not mentally equipped to understand the enemy, for one, and that alone to have a strong sense of who he is. So you're gonna fall victim to, and you're gonna eat the cheese.
Did you marry an African woman?
Liberian. My wife is Liberian. She's from the Fun tribe.
You did the right thing, because American women are for recreational use only. You did the right thing, bro.
Yeah, my wife is Ghanaian.
You did the right thing.
I don't agree with that. But go ahead, man.
Hold on. Goodness. Come on. Okay, listen. The views of Sim Police Academy are not necessarily the views of In Search of Uhuru. Hey,
and gas them up. And gas them up.
See, that's the thing. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. We got to stop doing that, because that is that man's point of view, and that is his truth to him, according to him, to what he has dealt with and what he has seen around him. So we can't dismiss that. Now, is it totally true?
I didn't dismiss it. I just gave the disclaimer.
Right.
I gave the disclaimer.
So even when we look at Kanye, right? I don't agree with everything he does, but I don't throw him out with the bathwater, because he's still our own. We have to learn to he's still ours. We can talk about him. Well, I'm not going to let you jump on him, because that's what we do. We'll send him out there. That's some old coons type shit that we've been trained, that transfer. And it's documentally, scientifically proven that shit can transfer from generation. It might skip a generation, but it'll still be there. Where did you get it from? You see what I'm saying? Just like your DNA, okay, you don't look like me, but you look like your great-great-grandfather. You look like so-and-so if they got a picture. So the same way, my mentality, it does transform, or that habits that you pick up, right? So we have to look at what is really doing us a disservice, is that we don't stand together doing the good and the bad and come to collectively to say, you know what, my brother, you might be from Ubuntu, Africa, but yet and still, when you come touch down on this soil, you right here in the lineup with us. We're going to pull you in. We're going to stand together. Same way as your religious. We put so much on the minor things that we miss it. And I've said this on your show several times, we don't study the enemy. The enemy is anyone that's oppressing us, that's trying to keep us down economically. For one, you have to say, okay, if that's if we study the practices, going back for the Great Scramble, and this is the greatest example I could ever use, besides the damn slave plantation. When you look at, they was stealing from Africa and they was robbing each other. They had enough sense to say, man, look, we killing the person that looked like me, regardless of his religious belief, regardless of what he think. We got to come to the table and we all can eat. When can we do that? You see what I'm saying? That's the problem. I don't care if you worship Baphomet or whatever, but if you can bring something as a core to bring us together to where we can build a business, where we can come back and take back our community, and we can do this, that's fine. Because yet and still, we need each other, regardless of what you think or not.
Let me pass it. We're gonna close out. So go ahead, Cuff.
Yeah.
You was on the road though, my brother. You was on the road though.
Yo, Sim, I'm a great fan of yours. You're a funny motherfucker, man. I'm listening to you in New York.
I appreciate that, man. Hey, man, they love me in the chat, man. You know what I'm saying? I know y'all love Maria shy say she done with me, but I know she still love the simp. So continue, my brother.
Just to correct you on something, you said that there wasn't not one skyscraper in America, but there's a guy who goes by the name of Don Peebles, and he came out of the Marion Barry administration when he was a mayor down in DC. Marion Barry gave him a chance to work in his political office, and then he later turned into he went from handling mortgages, I believe, or to being a developer.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
And Don Peebles, people say he's not black, but it's the one drop rule. There's a lot of us that just don't pass, but we light skin as hell. And he's building the tallest building is going to be built and it's going to be finished by 2030, I believe. I'm not sure, but he's partnered with a black woman named Cheryl McKenzie, and
by your own logic, I'm right. By your own logic, I'm right.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And I get tight when anyone that represents any of the African countries says that a black man shouldn't come to Africa with their chaos, because that almost says that y'all niggas are like slaves. Y'all too much of a slaves to even be here, and we don't want you. Like, that's exactly how that sounds.
How so? Can you explain how it sounds that way?
That's how I feel when any.
But what about when Tariq says that we're tethers and we're booty scratchers?
Well, when you come here and you actually take what the immigration people say, and then y'all kind of use it even inside the offices where we meet, even inside the professional places where we meet. Like, a lot of people think I'm from Africa because my first name's Kofi, but they get tricked, and I hear them talking a lot of shit about Black Americans, and it's just like fuck.
No, I get what you're saying.
Friends.
But what I'm saying is, no, I get you, Kofi. But what I'm saying is, you said when someone says Kanye shouldn't bring his chaos, and I stand by that. I personally I'm not in charge of it. But no, Kanye should stay where he at. You know what I'm saying? He lives with his white lady. But I'm just saying that on the flip side, when African Americans call African immigrants booty scratchers, tethers, and this, and you smell nasty, and you stink, you smell like BB, and things that was said to us when we was growing up, we knew it was ignorant comments and people got over it. So I'm just saying, can you give me an example of the type of behavior that Kanye West is doing as a celebrity? Can you give me an African celebrity that's doing the same thing on the African continent that's coming to America?
I would say that he's not a controlled Negro. He's not the type of person you're gonna tell him what to do. And I believe a lot of there's a lot of Pan-African leaders like Kwame Nkrumah, Robert Mugabe, who have that same spirit. But it's been installed into the people of Africa that you have to respect your elders, and you have to stay quiet, and you have to move like a good Negro. And
Yeah, but that's
Kanye
because
West is just
African
not that
culture.
type of person.
But then he shouldn't come because African culture, unfortunately and fortunately, is very conservative.
Yeah,
Africans typically
and
are conservative people. So I'm just saying that when
you don't want
Kanye
him to
West
get
come,
killed. You
say
don't
again.
want him to get. You don't want him to be killed. I
No
feel
one's
like
gonna
that's what.
kill Kanye West. Don't put that
No,
out there. But I'm just
but that's
saying
the
that
fear. That's the
no,
fear,
it's
and
not a fear. No, I
it
have a fear of him.
happens.
No one's gonna hurt him. I'm just saying this that Kanye West, two things. One, I think most people are gonna when you go to Africa, it is a rude awakening if you're not prepared. So I'm not the person that says, "Oh, come to Nigeria. It's all shits and giggles. It's beautiful, rainbows and unicorns is flying across the street." No, dude. Like today, right? I was talking to some people back home. They literally you couldn't get a bus, you couldn't get a Danfo because they weren't on strike because they were protesting against the touts taking money. Right now, unless you in Lecky hiding off in your rich Range Rover and your sports car dancing with Burna Boy and those guys, if you're gonna be in the thick of it with the day-to-day African, these are the things you need to be made aware of. I ain't here to bullshit nobody. So I'm not gonna be as my fellow African American brothers say, come to Nigeria, it's beautiful, and not tell you the lay of the land. That's all I'm saying. So a guy like Kanye, when he's coming to Africa with chaos and that instability, like I said, African culture is typically conservative. There's certain things that go on in households that people keep to themselves and they settle amongst the family. He's not aware of that. So he's going to come, I'm assuming, with that American thing, right? And then we'll have a thing and he'll expose what's something that's familial that should be settled within the family. He won't understand that. That's all I'm saying. So it's chaos.
He's
Hey, Comfort,
going
before you
to
finish,
have to.
Comfort, before you
Yeah.
finish real quick, man, let me clarify my statement about the black American black women are for recreation use only. And of course, y'all, I don't mean all, but I do mean 90% though. I think it's 90%. It's a 10%, it's 10% maybe of American women that are good women. And even those 10% women that are good women will agree with me when I say 90% of black women are useless. You get what I'm saying? If they're useless or tearing out, it's a reason why 75% of black women are single with kids. It's a reason why black women lead a divorce out of all the women in the world, that black women lead in abortion. You get what I'm saying? It's a reason why black women are the least desired. You get what I'm saying? As far as
Especially in
marriage.
America.
Let
In
me chime
America. So
in. Let
hold
me
on. Let
chime
me say
in.
this.
Skip.
This is the
Let me
last
chime in,
point.
Especially in
Skip.
Last
America,
point.
it's
Last
killing
point.
us.
Last point. Just for the record, a lot of people don't think that I'm married. I've been married twice. My first wife was from Trinidad, and my wife now is from the Bahamas. Me personally, I'm a businessman. So why would I take a risk on something that's 10% might be in my favor? You know what I'm saying? So if my motto is if she ain't foreign, she boring. You get what I'm saying? So I like foreign black women. I don't like American black women. Now I'll bust you up and send you to the woods. Send you back with your EBT card. I send you back to the black church. I send you back to the beauty supply shop. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, it's for recreational use only. And most men agree with that because most men now are trying to go out the country. Most men now have a desire to go out the country. Most men now are trying to find women of Afro Latinas or women from Africa that come there. It's a reason why black men treat those type of women different, because those type of women treat black men different. You know what I'm saying? When you walk up to a woman and she snarls at you or throw just for saying hey or holding the door, you know what I'm saying, or degrade you, whatever, it makes you do that. When you see society put people over you that you know that don't hold a candle to a man, then you already see what time it is. But from my standpoint, Caribbean women and African women, you know what I'm saying, kind of just see a man for what he is and what he brings, not what society tells her to how to treat black men. Now I ended with that, so I'll clarify that statement.
Okay, let me chime in on this because in Liberia, right? You do what you got to do because of your situation. There's a lot of poverty over there, right? There's no sugarcoating. but they doing what they doing because they feel that there is no choice. And that is by design. So when you look at what you just said, because I can understand that, and here's the thing, and this goes with all men. I think, yeah, everybody wants to have their fun, but at the end of the day, you know what you actually want in a woman. If you see something desirable, sure, you're going to indulge if she allows you to indulge in that, and vice versa, right? Same thing with a woman. But you have to look at, why are you making these choices? What type of trauma or what type of situation do you come from to where you have to go out there and make those choices? So you have to look at, throughout our history, even to this day, even now, on the richest continent of the planet, why are our women being used or making decisions in that manner? That's the key. We got to go back. See, we say all of these things. That shit just didn't happen. Just like you said, it's structured, right? Gas them up. You said structure. There's a hierarchy, right? So Kanye can't do that. I noticed that when I got married to my wife, and I was like, wow, they had something that was called where everybody put money in the pot for a month, and then at the end and then everybody pull out. I don't know what it's called, but you put
Some
money
people
in.
call it susu. Yeah.
Susu, right? That messed my head up because I never experienced that. That's building up your people. Okay, now next month I know I'm going to get 13, 14, depending on how big your family is. That's substantial. I never heard of that in America from my people going in the South or up north. All we thought about the quick hustle or whatever. Go out here, we got to farm this land, we got to sell these crops to get this money. But I never thought about when you was working your job, your 9 to 5, instead of me buying these bullshit shoes or this Versace, let me throw this in this pot. You see what I'm saying? And then we look up, and then we're the worst at it when it comes down to a funeral. Then now we trying to collectively come together to try to pay for a funeral. But where did that come from? We have to look at the source. And then on top of, just like I said, you got some people in your family that is just conditioned, they can't see no way out. So when it came to me going over there, oh man, you sure you can marry that Akon? You know you heard stories, this, that, and the third. Man, you're gonna be over there, man, you're gonna get killed. You didn't say shit when I joined the military and I worked and I was working, but I knew what I signed up for because I said I got to do better and I want better for my family. And that was my way out. Yeah, I could have went to school and did that, and I did. And I said, you know what? I'm going to transfer my resources, my school benefits to my children. I still can. But I realized too, as you get older, you still constantly evolve. See, this is the thing. We as a community, as African people, we don't like to evolve. We stick to the same script. We're afraid of change. I got some family members that have never been outside of the continental U.S. and some that have never been more than 3 states. And that's a damn shame. But then they can tell you about everything that's going on. How can you say that if you have never been in a diverse situation? You don't know about diversity. And then you come and you talk about a Roth IRA or diversifying your portfolio. This nigga think he uppity. He all of this. But then they look at
he think he's smarter than everybody.
But you see what I'm saying? But when you look and you try to give people game and you try to tell them, go to Africa. I'm not saying you got to move over there, but go and get a different perspective. It's not what they portray on TV. Yeah, it's some poverty. Yeah, shit, we got poverty over here. You got trash over here. You got vacant lot buildings, go to Chicago, and you got some great parts, the same way you can find over in Africa. But if you don't have a mindset of trying to be an entrepreneur, one, you got to have it in you. It can't be on you. It got to be in you or wanting better. You see what I'm saying? And then you got to mentor others and then try to show them. But your energy got to line up with those that carrying the same energy. You can put it out there, but you can, like the old saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. I gave you that. But you see what I'm saying? I already know. I know a lot of shit, but I ain't gonna explode, trust me, America's gonna finna catch some shit. And a lot of people gonna be trying to run to Africa and wish they had, but I'm gonna be that bridge. You see what I'm saying? I'm gonna be that Joseph when that famine come, and I'm gonna come. Oh, now you want to come, but I'm still
Brother,
gonna
I'm
embrace
glad
you
you
with
said
open
that.
arms.
Brother,
I'm still gonna
I'm
embrace
glad
you
you
with open
said that.
arms.
I want to point out what you just said. I'm hoping that you are the ancestor, whatever you believe in, gives you the strength, you people like Dynast, to do that, because I think that's what's needed. I think people like yourself who have gone to the continent, who know the realities, like you said, there's poverty, there's this, but at the same time, there's still opportunity, right? Like in Chinese, the symbol for danger and opportunity are the same, right? So people like yourself, like you said, when that problem starts and people need a bridge, the scaffold to get over to Africa, people like you gonna say, hey, listen, this the way of the land, this how you gonna move, this how you gonna go like this, and y'all can move as a block, because I kid you not, if I had 4 Dynast and 5 Hustle Smarts with me and we were trying to make business in Africa, I could get a lot more done. I could get a lot more done in Africa. Because now I got the capital, I got the backing, we can buy a building, we live in this building, all of us, we live in this building, we conduct ourselves a certain way, we learn in the language, we're not trying to differentiate ourselves, but we conduct ourselves a certain way. Now we moving as a block and as a unit. So I hope that, you know, that what you said, it comes to pass and it becomes a reality.
Oh, it's gonna come reality
Can I
because
say a
it's my
theory?
reality. It's my reality.
One mic. Let me pass
Can
it
I
to
say a theory?
let me
Okay.
pass it. No, let me pass it to NGTO 92. Go ahead, NGO.
So like I was saying earlier, Experience Liberia said something that really stuck out to me. He said the quick hustle. That's what I see this whole Kanye West situation. The reason why I don't agree with it yet, him going to Africa, because I'm also a Nigerian woman myself. Africa's currency is suffering compared
Angel,
to.
where in Nigeria?
Oh, I'm from Ijebu.
Okay.
Hello, can you hear me?
Baroni.
Yes.
So,
Yes, sir.
so like I was saying earlier before, Sim Police Academy interrupted me. Africa doesn't need this attention right now that Kanye West is getting, right? He's getting too much attention, like negative attention. We don't even know what's going to happen to this man in the next year or anything like that. What we need to worry about is if he goes to Africa today, let's say he packs his bag and go today, there'll be more chaos than already is in Africa right now. Africa needs to, first of all, settle their own situation before we start to invite people like Kanye West that has all this craziness around him, right? 2, I'm sure you understand the African currency that's happening. I want that currency in Africa for each African country to be on the same level as the American money. So that way, when people like Kanye West bring his business, the locals that don't Kirioja, those ones that are selling orange on the street, or the people in Makoko, them too can be making money just like Kanye West, right?
That's a great point, and that's you're right. The people you produce in Africa, the people, like I say about Henry Ford and House of Smart, you heard it. I said Henry Ford. They said, "Oh, he loved white men," but Henry Ford was producing the car, and that car was consumed by his workers. He didn't produce a car that his workers could not afford. So if you're going to come to Africa and you want to do business, there's so many models. Like I said, you can use the O'Shea Duke model, where he's employing Africans, but his content is mostly consumed by African Americans and people in the diaspora. So he gets, like the sister talking about with the currency, he gets that foreign exchange, and he uses that money to be able to employ Africans. Or if you're going to be in Africa really with a factory, whether it's textile or something, you got to understand that Africans don't have the credit models or the credit facilities for disposable income in the way that we have in the West. So I had a brother who, I'm gonna bring, he makes bags. He creates nice bags, and his bags are like $140, really nice bags, custom made. And I said, dude, listen, if you want to sell them in Africa, come, but the lady who's selling oranges, as my sister's saying, in Ijebu over there, is not gonna pay $150 for your bag. So we got to figure out some sort of middle ground. How are you going to get your products to where she can consume? But I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, sister.
Let me say this real quick. I don't think that Kanye is gonna go there and create chaos. Because trust me, we already know that's not gonna happen. If you're not respecting the culture, them Africans are not gonna have it. I'm just gonna tell you that straight out because they're gonna tribe up. They're gonna come together. Who are you? First and foremost, they're gonna welcome you with open arms. But they already know you don't have a culture. You don't have no tribe that's behind you. We're gonna bring you in, but you ain't gonna come in and show your ass out on us and think you better. They ain't gonna let that happen.
Look
Especially
at
if you're trying to get in there.
Brother, you just said they don't have a culture. Now you saying that as an African American?
No, I'm
No. You
saying
said with
when they
those
look
who
at
coming in.
Kanye,
Yeah, go ahead.
when they look at Kanye, because here's the
Yes.
thing, I just found out where I'm from. I'm 99.4% Mozambique from the largest tribe over there. You
Okay.
see what I'm saying? So I
stand up.
found out, and see, it goes back to when you say when you trying to pull people in, everybody's gonna gravitate to what you're doing, but you can do nothing but preach to the people. Those who come is for them, and those is not. So just like I said, they looked at me like I was crazy. Why you trying to do this? Why you trying to do that? But I found out because I wanted to know. They didn't want to know. I wanted to know because it was something burning inside of me. So
Well,
the
experience like
thing
me, I wanted
about
to
it,
ask you that. I want to ask you a question.
let me finish. So we get on here and we talk. Not everybody's gonna have your dream. Your dream is your dream. When you go to bed and you sleep at night, it's your damn dream. Everybody's not gonna realize your dream. You gotta build it to fruition. And then once it comes, then everybody gonna jump on the damn bandwagon. All you got to do is do what you do. That's why I say we get up here, we get martyred about what we talking about because it's your dream. Everybody got a different damn dream. You the Joseph of your family.
Yes,
All
sir.
you got to do is go out there and produce. Then they'll get on.
I want to
Damn,
ask
we
you a
got to pay
question.
homage. Yeah.
I want to ask you a question quickly, Express Liberia. You said Kanye would come and they would say he had no culture, right? And I'm not, because I've said that. And when I say it, people take offense as if I'm saying African American people don't have culture. But I wanted you to expand on that a little bit more when you're saying he has no culture to see if we're saying the same thing.
Let me just quickly finish. Let me quickly finish.
Go ahead, NGT. I'm sorry.
What I'm trying to say, because I feel like people are misunderstanding me when I say that he's, chaotic. I'm not saying Kanye West is chaotic. I'm saying that he's surrounded by he has too much chaos around him. I'm not
That ain't
saying
what you said. You churching it up now.
He would get sabotaged. I get what you're saying now. He would get. He would.
But
He
that
would
ain't
get
what you
sabotaged.
said.
Do you
Earlier
understand
day,
what I'm
what you
saying?
was talking about, she said that Kanye
Now,
is chaos. She said
now,
it
now I
three. She said it
understand.
3 times in a
Can I
row.
finish?
Now she
Well,
churching it
let her,
up. But
let
go
her
ahead.
explain it. Let her explain it.
Yeah, go
What I'm
ahead.
trying
Church
to
it up.
what I'm trying to say here is I'm not saying that Kanye West is a chaotic person. I'm saying that he's surrounded by chaos. He has too much chaos around him. That's what we're trying to say. What I'm saying is that is this someone who's living in Makoko slum who's going to go and buy easy shoes when he comes and bring his business, or is this someone that's in Enugu
In
that will
Lekki or
come?
Abuja, those are
I
the
don't
ones that can afford it.
right? So that is, you've been to Nigeria, you've been to other African countries. We have Burger King, we have McDonald's. How many people do you see eat those food there? Burger King just went to Nigeria. A lot of Nigerians don't even eat Burger King.
They don't even have the Impossible Whopper in Burger King.
Hold on, I gotta interject. I see a lot of Nigerians eating KFC because all the KFCs.
Well,
on the fast
KFC
food,
is because it's chicken.
Whoa, hold on. Let me. I gotta disagree. I see them eating the Domino's. I see them eating the Cold Stone. I see them eating all that shit.
They love them American
You
products.
see them because it's chicken. It looks. Ice cream is everywhere. Everybody eats ice cream, right? Everybody eats chicken, right? Well, I don't know about everybody, but African people specifically, Black people eat chicken, right?
I mean,
So,
they're up.
But wait, Dinus, Nigerians is eating KFC or they eating Chicken Republic? Let's keep it real. Most Nigerians eat Chicken Republic, Dinus. KFC is garbage.
Hold on. Let me finish. When I'm up in ShopRite, Ikeja, them Nigerians are in that KFC eating the hell out that KFC.
No, they eating the KFC, but Dinus, when you go to that shop right near that bookstore, Dinus, I was there too. When you go to that bookstore, when you walk across, Dinus, right there, you got the KFC there, and you got the Krispy Kreme donuts. But if you go to the Chicken Republic, The Chicken Republic line is always out the store. Them dudes is in Chicken. Come on, Diners. Chicken Republic is way better. Anybody in the chat to tell you.
Let's say
And
Just give
two,
them chicken. Just give them chicken. They eat
Just
chicken.
give us some chicken.
exactly.
That's all you
And
gotta do.
then
Get it.
two, Michael Jordan. We have Michael Jordan shoes, Nikes everywhere. How many black people do you see wearing them shoes? That's what I'm saying. What kind of business is Kanye West bringing to Africa?
Whatever
They
business
wearing
he want to
knockoffs.
bring.
They wearing knockoffs in Liberia. I can
let's
tell you
say
that.
let's say he just invests into a refinery company with Dangote, right? And
Well, he needs to have a
he
competition.
puts like a quarter. He puts a quarter of his money. He puts a quarter. He buys a quarter of shares. Now let's say
That's
he's
what.
selling to Israel, or he's selling to some like Jewish partners in South Africa. Once they find out he partnered with Dangote, then the global pressure is going to come on Dangote's company and say, "Oh, Kanye, you had a anti-Semitic buy shares. Oh, we're gonna pull out our shares, and we're gonna stop doing business with you, and we're gonna put sanctions on your refinery company if you don't stop business with Kanye." And I feel like that's what you mean by he's bringing too much chaos.
Yeah,
Because
see, but that ain't the way sanctions. Hold on for a second, y'all. But that
he would
ain't the
have to
way.
move
That ain't the way
as
sanctions
a secret
work, though.
partner.
So a lot of people don't understand. You know, they say the word. They throw the word sanctions out loosely. Sanctions is not just a one part thing. A sanctions have to be agreed by the United Nations. You know, even though when the United States say they're gonna put sanctions on
True,
somebody,
true.
it's based on more than one country. So Israel or Jews or whatever cannot just put sanctions on one person. They can't go to the United States. But let me give you a fine example. The same way with the war that's going on with Ukraine. Even though the United States is 100% for it, it's a lot of countries that's not on the United States side. So even though the United States put their own sanctions, some of the other United Nation countries didn't sign up for it. You get what I'm saying? Turkey, India, and a lot of them countries didn't even sign up for it. So therefore, it wasn't sweeping. So therefore, Russia can leverage their electricity and their the food as far as the Black Sea, no, but the grains and the food get across the country because every country ain't signed up for it, so it's not as easy. We're trying to micro think far as a business that's on a whole nother level. So what I'm saying is that this is what I was saying was the funny part earlier is that we're thinking based on a feeling part of a business. That part of a business is almost 1,000 times of how much I make. So the process is different. Kanye West is a money making machine. You know what I'm saying?
Boss is smart. Why he didn't just go? Go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead and ask your question.
No, my thing is with Kanye and all these guys. It's like, look, first off, before you could just do business in Nigeria, you can't just Dynasty tell you you can't just set up a business in Nigeria. You have to go through a process. You have to have, if you're a foreigner, you have to actually have Nigerians on your board, right? That have a percentage. That's one of the rules. If you are a citizen, you have to go to the CAC. If you have a storefront, you have to pay. Because I have a store. I have two storefronts. I'm going for a third one in Nigeria, and there's a lot of red tape. You know, like I said, to get it. But that's neither here nor there. My only thing is this: right now, people like Kanye, then when he was a billionaire, Dangote at one point, in order to finish the refinery, he had there was like a little he had a capital issue where he wasn't able to get access to capital for some time, and they were running hit pieces in Bloomberg. Oh, Dangote's broke, blah blah blah. The banks don't want to let him money. People like him at that time, they could have put a consortium, right, of black African Americans and people in the diaspora to say, hey, listen, let's float Dangote a bond, and get him that, 2-3 billion that he needs to get that refinery up and running. But Kanye wasn't thinking that back then. But now that he ran into problem with the mafias and the Illuminatis of the world, the people who got real power, now he want to come running back to us. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't help him, but it's just like, I'm kind of, you get what I'm saying?
Well, the funny part is we can't help him. He's on a whole nother he's on a whole nother money level. What I'm saying is that Kanye name produces money. You get what I'm saying? It can make his name and his words can make stocks goes up and stocks goes down. What I'm saying is we're not on that level. You get what I'm saying? We're just saying what we think and we feel. But at the end of the day, with a proper guidance, with a different guidance, it will. Now, this is the thing what I was saying when the lady was talking about the chaos part. She is right that he did have a lot of weird stuff going on here in the United States, but to say that if he did want to go to Africa, all those people ain't going to Africa. Guess what? It's the same way when Donald Trump became president and all these uppity niggas was sitting up there talking about they was gonna leave America. You know what I'm saying? All these rich black people like, we leaving, we coming back. Every black person said they leaving is still here right now. You get what I'm saying? So the thing about it is people don't want to go to Africa. You know what I'm saying? So it's always a small group. So that's why when that whole thing was going with the Gambia and all that stuff was going on, 4 or 5 months ago, they was like, okay, black people gonna come over there and have this elitism, about them. They're gonna come over and try to take over like Liberia, whatever that shit was. But then when you come to find out after time, you see that only a small amount of black people are even coming to Africa. And damn sure it's a smaller amount that's decided to live in Africa. So if he come over there and conduct business, he just coming over there to conduct business like a boss. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the thing. I don't even think if he does conduct business, he's not gonna live there. And if he do, he probably have a little chateau somewhere chilling so he can bust up a couple of house girls for the low key for 40 Ghana CDs, and then it'll be all Gucci. But the thing
listen, man, them house girls make you feel good at night.
I know, right? But see what
them house girls make you feel good at night.
It is what
them house girls don't feel good.
It is what it is. But what I'm saying is that we're looking at it on some like African savior, but it's just like with anything. It's just the same way when I was out there renting to the streets or whatever. I thought that I was the smartest guy in the world, and I was making a lot of money in the streets. But after turmoil happened and I fell down, you get what I'm saying? I got back up and I went a whole different route. You get what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is that a person with a business mind, like Kanye West has, he just gonna switch. He gonna switch and do it a different way.
So why he ain't take that money to Nigerian banks yet? That 140 million JP gave him. Why he didn't go to Zenith Bank or UBA?
You don't have to put a dollar. You can use your American bank account as long as he got his business. As long as he has.
Hold on. Let me interject. Listen, I do not. Okay, people in the chat room, I do not. Do I have a trip scheduled for December? Yeah. Well, early January and in end of November.
Where you going, Benin?
I'm going to Benin Republic for the Voodoo Festival in January.
That's what's up.
So Yamoja, do me a favor. Yamoja, do me a favor. Send me an email. I'll put my email in the chat room. But yeah, just send me an email. But
why he ain't put that money in the bank yet in Nigerian banks?
I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet. I do not condone or support messing with the house girls. That's just no.
Dinus,
let me do that.
Listen, Dinus, you gotta hang out with me. I'm gonna get you a nice big booty house girl, man.
Let's get back to the subject. First and foremost,
she wait too.
You guys are understanding African governors, right? You're saying that he doesn't need to live in Africa to do his business. Okay.
Yes, he does. Because I had a business there. Yes, he does.
That's what I'm trying to tell Police Academy, that he has to be in Africa to literally run that business. And I was watching there was a live news that he did the other day, and he was going back and forth with the guy on the news. You can't do that shit with leaders in Africa. You can't do that, because if you do, they will find a way to eliminate you. That's it. Why do you think a lot of African celebrities don't directly talk towards the government? They do it through music because they know that they will come after them. They have spies everywhere.
And so where did they get it from? Let me say this. Where did they get it from? Who gave them that ideology? See, let's go back. See, we all got to go back. How did they get it?
That's what I'm trying to tell Simba Police Academy. Like, you can't just you're thinking from the American perspective. I'm thinking from an African perspective. If you want to deal with this leader, you got to be 5 steps ahead of them, or else they will run your business to the ground. Just like Dangote. You see the way Dangote is doing his business? This man is literally living with money. He can literally do whatever he wants. But no, he's not doing that because he knows how to deal with his people. So it's people like Kanye West who just whatever comes to his mind and say, you can't do that, especially Nigerian government. Is it Buhari that you want to go and be talking nonsense to, or no?
But Miss NGTO, I got to say this. Anytime you do business, you sign a contract. You put out the preliminaries of what you expect, what you want, and what you're going to do. That's with any business person. That's the same way he was talking about a contract. Even if you go to Africa and you're trying to establish a business, or not to say something local, but something major that's going to affect and bring economic substance to that country, contracts have to be laid. These have to be discussed. What you expect, and you come to an agreement. Then if it doesn't, that's a breach of contract, right? So
how do you enforce it?
Hold on. Let me finish, my brother. But hold on. If he's going over there, those people, whoever he deal with in Africa, gonna let it be known because they see him and they know they're not ignorant. We're not gonna tolerate the things that you do. We come from this. This is what we do. This is how we operate. This is how we conduct business. It's up to you if you want to get in bed with me. It's vice versa with him. Yeah, I speak my mind. I do this, but as long as you don't run this, and that's it. That's what a contract about. So hold on. But listen, we are saying hypothetically what would happen. We don't know until he go. But the thing is, he needs to go. That's it. He gonna sign it. That's the thing. We talk about this is gonna happen. No, let's talk from a business perspective of what happens with business if you're trying to go major.
So then why he didn't take the money and put it in the banks yet?
Okay,
He could have took that money and put it in the Nigerian banks. The money that JP Morgan kicked out, he could have took that money and put it in 2 Nigerian banks now.
Listen, my brother. I've been over to Liberia trying to get money out the bank, my own money, and you have a hard enough time. He experienced it in America. You just think about what he's going to experience over in Africa.
That's what I'm saying.
It's not going to happen.
Just like that. That is when you go to Nigeria, you know a lot of the chiefs and the kings there, right? Not just the local citizens. He needs to do that. One thing about Kanye West, especially African government, like my own Nigerian government, if they know that Kanye West have money, everybody has to have their own share before they even allow him to even start anything. That's how it works.
And that's true. That's in Liberia too.
You have to have their own share. So if, let's say, gas them up once is Kanye West and you're coming to Nigeria, me, I want my own share. Dennis will have his own share. You will have your own share, and then we can all allow you to have your own business.
I would have bribed my way in. I'm not gonna just come to Nigeria that I'm Kanye West. I'm bribing Dynast. I'm bribing Hustle Smart. I'm meeting, okay, who's in charge of this local government? Who's the minister? Who's here? I'm bribing enough people. I'm gonna do like the Indians and the Lebanese do when they come to do business on a large scale in Africa. Because that's how they do. They meet the right people in government and they make things happen. So if you got that kind of bank,
why y'all keep saying Nigeria? I thought he was I thought he was trying to open a business in Uganda.
Oh, I don't know. If he's going to Uganda, let him go. I hope he gets, Uganda might be easier to do business.
I thought it was in Uganda. That's what my whole thing was. You know what I'm saying? Now, most of the time when people, operate on for his business, they're gonna do their research and say which place is easy to do business. It's the same way in America. They be like, hey, which state is good to do business? That's why think about it, gas them up. That's why even though California is a pretty, beautiful state, a lot of people move their business to Texas because Texas is more business friendly. So I'm pretty sure somebody that's worth that much money is gonna see that, okay, which country cannot do the most business in, and that's
I think South Africa. South Africa in terms of
South Africa, but Uganda is, you got to think about Uganda as a central transport. So to me now, Uganda and Congo, that area right there is like the central area of Africa, right? You know what I'm saying? So, you know,
But
it's
you
a
got to look at the contracts, Hustle Smart. Remember, you talking about
I get that,
contracts.
but I get
The
that. But what
place
I'm
you're going
saying
to
is
enforce your contracts is in South Africa
I
because
get
they
you.
kind of
I get that.
uphold law a little bit better than Nigeria and other
South
countries.
I
South
get that, but what I'm
South
saying
Africa
is
is strict.
Uganda is a country that's trying to open up its doors for business. So when you get a country that's hungry, the same way, like I know a lot of Africans that come over here, they got a problem with Paul Kagame, whatever the name for what the country that he's running. Like when you open up your country for business, you know what I'm saying? You gonna put people in there to make big. You don't want to. Kanye West is a popular person. Kanye West is probably number 3 popular person in the world. You know what I'm saying? So, everybody knows who he is. So it wouldn't be a good decision for a country that's trying to open up its country to be like, okay, we're open for business and we want to try to do things the right one. I feel that an African country, just for the namesake of all the bad reputation, will try their best to make Kanye West to be more successful there, because y'all gotta see, you can tell people that's not guerrilla hustlers. So even though if I'm a cutthroat guy, I might be like, okay, well, gas him up. Usually I rob people, usually I'm cutthroat people, but gas him up, he popular, he's from Nigeria. But you know what I'm gonna do? I'm not gonna do gas them up. I already got 1,000 business that I'm taking a piece of the pie from, but gas them up business, I'm gonna do his right. So what is that gonna do? Gas them up. It's called the Kansas City Shuffle. You get people.
Yeah, it's going to bring in more
way.
suckers.
Exactly. See,
No.
y'all. See, that's the thing. That's the thing. When I know that I'm not talking to hustlers, you get what I'm saying? I know that I'm talking to people that based on feelings and emotions. You know what I'm saying? The people are not big, even though y'all talk about the corrupted politician and everything. They are hustlers. You get what I'm saying? So you got 2 type of hustlers. You got the hustler that has that has some type of repercussions behind it, so people can look out for them, or some type of way that they can be hold accountable. And you got the ones that is no accountable, and it is like that in some African countries. But when you want to offer up your business and you want international business to come in, Kanye West will be the paper boy. You would not use him for an example to tear him down. You would be better off. You would make more money making Kanye West successful than fuck him over, because now you'll have more black
It's all
people.
about business. It's a business.
Yo,
This
I got a movie idea. The
Let me tell
Last
you something.
Yeezy in Adidas. The Last Yeezy in Adidas.
To South Africa and start.
Let me say this. Let me say this. Kanye is going against Europeans in a European state that in the United States. He's not going to have to really deal with that in Africa because they look like each other. And then on top of it, he has enough money to go back and blow back on them if they try to act crazy. And they don't want that smoke. We want you to bridge the gap and bring it in. So, like I said, it goes back to sitting down at that damn table. This is what I want. This is how we operate. Do you feel you want to get in bed with me? And this is how we can bring money to the table. It's going to be best for each of us to get money. That's what Europeans do. See what I'm saying?
But Hustle Smart, do you guys think that is that how, for example, again, I'm gonna use Patrice Motsepe, Dangote, Mike Adenuga. I forgot the richest man in Cameroon. He's an Awusa man. They might conduct business that way, but do you think that's how they go to the table when they're conducting business with African leaders in African states?
Well, no, it can't be like that because you have foreign powers in it. You get what I'm saying? So therefore, they have to go with the foreign powers and see where they align, especially when you got countries that use, like francophone countries or countries that using other people money for their currency. Yes, the rules change, but it changes by state by state. See, that's the thing that a hustler has to adapt. You get what I'm saying? Like I'm telling you guys, a true hustler adapts. You know what I'm saying? You don't just get bogged down in one area. You evolve. See, let me tell you the good thing about Kanye West. Kanye West can go broke, but he's an entertainer genius. He can make his money back off of entertaining. Even though everybody talking shit, he can lose every dollar when it comes to business. If Kanye West do a tour where he promotes it funds it and everything, Kanye West will make 500 million this year if he wanted to. You get what I'm saying? Like, the thing about it is, the people, we at the end of the day in America, we love dysfunction and we love a comeback story. You get what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, he's not on no, like, think about it like this. Even though we think he crazy and whatever, Kanye West, you don't never hear him talk about he's on drugs. You never hear nobody talk about he's drinking alcohol. Nobody ain't never seen him drunk. You get what I'm saying? So, but what I'm saying is,
hey Sim, finish your thought. Then we gotta close out.
I got you covered. So what I'm saying is that, even though his rhetoric is fucked up because his mouth is loose, but what I'm saying is his moral compass is sound. All he got to do is shut up and let the hustlers hustle. He'll get back on it, because even though people not liking him in this moment, people love Kanye West. It's the same way with Hustle Smart. People in the chat really love Hustle Smart. I can say one thing that be like, oh shit, you know what I'm saying? I can't go for that with Hustle Smart is saying, but for the most part, people love what I say. They would like for me to stop and be like, okay, he could have stopped right there, but I'm not. You know what I'm saying? I'm just the type of person that I don't give a fuck, because nobody makes me rich but me. You get what I'm saying? So I'm not selling the product. That's Kanye West's fault, because he has people that's buying his product. You know what I'm saying? That he's saying something again. So you can't talk shit and then want somebody to buy your product. That's where he fucking up. But I appreciate you having me coming on. Everybody, I want y'all, bring y'all ugly asses over there to the Simp Police Academy. Subscribe, check out the videos. I'm gonna do a show this weekend, and I'm gonna continue to be the people champ and give people that work. Salute to y'all, my brother.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. Like, share, subscribe. Hold on, Keisha, Hustle Smart. I don't know. You just all Black American women. Keisha, I love, you know me. Dynasty Mirror loves the sisters.
I love 10% of them.
Listen, I love my sisters. I love you, Keisha. You know, I love all the sisters in the chat, no matter where you from. No matter where on this. No, let me turn my camera on.
I love to flop on top of them like a fish out of water, then forget I did it afterwards.
Listen, let me grab my mic. No matter where you from, no matter where you from on this planet, I love all my sisters. From Compton to the Swats.
What about Simpson Road?
To Freetown, to Simpson Road, to Bankhead.
What about Bankhead?
To Crenshaw, to Florin Road, to Harlem. You know, I love all of y'all. I love all my sisters. To Joburg, to Nairobi. I love all of y'all. I love all of y'all. I do. Hold on, somebody said I'm full of it. I'm dead serious. I love y'all.
Because they know you sipping, bro. They know you sipping.
All of y'all.
But see, y'all expect for Dynasty simp. You get what I'm saying? It's no sipping over here. I'm going to tell it like it really is, because Dynasts know how American women are over here. Of course, there's some good ones, but it's a lot of fuck no one. The same way I used to have Cynthia G coming on this platform sometime. When you wouldn't let her spill her rhetoric about Black men need to be aborted and trash bag bandit, she didn't come back over there no more. So she built her own platform over there, and she do show Dynasts, got 60, 70,000 women coming over there every day just to hear her this great Black man and say Black man ain't shit and Black men need to be aborted. So you know what I'm saying? We got more. You have more YouTube channel of women degrading men than men degrading women. But y'all don't complain about them at all. But let one Black man say one thing about a Black woman, then he hate his mama, hate his grandmama, hate his auntie them. You know what I'm saying? But y'all got women over there that y'all supporting. You know what I'm saying? Because I see, don't get me wrong, I watch it because I think it's funny. I see some of y'all same women in these Pan-African spaces over there on them Cynthia G's and them Paris Milan pages talking about, yeah, girl, men ain't shit. These niggas ain't shit. And nothing is ever said. But y'all will come on a Pan-African page of a Black man and want this page to simp.
Call him out, Sim.
Man, man, you know I'm from the street, dog. I would do it, but I ain't gonna do it. But I see you on there. But you know what I will do? And next time I see him on there, I'll screenshot and send it to you. I ain't gonna put him on blast like that because I'm too street incorporated. It's in my DNA. I never drop salt on y'all in person. But on the other way around, y'all women If y'all knew who I was and knew who I worked with and knew who I had contracts with, y'all will make it y'all business to go over there to try to destroy me. But on the other other shoe on the other foot, I wouldn't do the same to you. So that just shows the envious nature of the black woman. That's the destructive nature of the black woman. That's the goddamn cutthroatness of a black woman. You know what I'm saying? And the way society is today, if you say anything a black woman don't like, she can destroy you. She can be right, she can be dead ass wrong, but you would have to fight, Dynas. You would have to spend money, Dynas, to prove yourself right. Even though you ain't did nothing wrong, and your whole thing can be discouraged, your whole business can be ruined, even though you was found not guilty, just by word of mouth of women these days. And all y'all simp, y'all supersized suckers, y'all busted from Augustus, y'all glorified mama boys, y'all deserve everything you get for sipping for a woman that will drag you down and tear you down at the same time. And that's why I subscribe to foreign black women. And I say it again, 90% of black women are for recreational use only.
Okay, hold on. I don't listen, guys. The views and opinions of Simp Police Academy is not necessarily the views and opinions of In Search of Uhuru. It's not the views and opinions of you guys know the disclaimer. You guys know the disclaimer. The views and opinions of Simp Police Academy are not the views and opinions of In Search of Uhuru. Right, go ahead.
Oh, just for the record, I'm married, y'all. You know what I'm saying? and for what y'all think, as much as y'all think I'm ghetto, all the women that I deal with is professional women. You know what I'm saying? My son's mama, she worked for the FAA, and most of y'all don't even know what the FAA is. She works in the 3rd building from the White House. You get what I'm saying? So, you know, I met professional women. That's how I upgraded up. You get what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, the women that I chose to marry, the ones that had the best personality and the best temperament, was foreign black women, Dynas. That just would don't get me wrong. There's a lot of nice black American women, Dynas, but you cannot tell me that it's a different temperament when you're dealing with foreign black women and American black women. Is that true? I know you don't agree with the other stuff, Dynas. We just talk about the temperament and the attitudes. Do you see a difference between black American women and foreign black women, Dynas?
I can't put all women in a box.
I mean, the same thing for black women, black American women in Africa. The men love them and they get pregnant fast, and it's like they're like red kufi. Their kufis come on all of a sudden.
Right.
And I just feel like it's just the climate in America. I have a couple of single cousins and they're beautiful, and I'm like, damn, like if only you was in Africa, like you'll have children, you'll be married already. But since they're in America and they're working, and they're like their mind is on the mindset is on the money, chasing these printed notes that the company was given, fucking equity capital. They refuse to. It's like their minds is like gone now. It's like fried. They're like they lost their nature. We're all losing our nature over here. And the African move is the move to kind of reset those things.
Come on, bro. I appreciate you saying it in the politically correct way, what I just said. You know what I'm saying? But, I appreciate that. But we all know what it is. That's why so many black men are going over there, going up. Like, think about the audacity and the entitlement of some women think that they can be manly, bullish, you know what I'm saying, arrogant, and be like, okay, y'all try to shame a man for like, okay, you know what? I want to go find me a softer talking black woman. I want to find me a feminine black woman. If I can't find it in America, I'm gonna spend my money and go to another country. What is wrong with that? See, when men have preference, we're shamed upon. But a woman can have a preference about anything. She can want a man that's 6'12", you know what I'm saying, make $1 million. They're gonna let her go to shopping. They're gonna gonna support her super ultra mega thought lifestyle where she can still go out and shake her ass in the street and still be married and go to church, you know what I'm saying, and still pay all the bills and send her to goddamn New Orleans to Essence Fest every weekend so she can yell period and so she can start talking about she in them streets and snatching words out the air, you know what I'm saying, with them claws, with them goddamn viper teeth claws on her fingers. That's what they want you to sit up there and deal with. They don't want to change for the man. You know, in America, women think that they're equal to a man. And I'll tell you the truth. You know what I'm saying? That a lot of men won't stand up and say it is nothing equal to a woman than a man. It is nothing equal. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, because we over here we go by a political system, and the political system has to put money behind the black woman in the community. So that what prompted them up. See, they ain't putting no money behind black men. Goldman Sachs ain't giving black men Diners. Diners. Which one is Goldman Sachs giving $1 billion to help? Black men or black women?
Black women.
So why would they not give that to black men? Hold on, black men are incarcerated. Black men are low in the education. When you think that $1 billion, hold on, now, let me just size the question up. All these problems that black men are having, disenfranchised. Black men are homeless. Black women are claiming that black men ain't got no money, right? That's what they talk about. Black men are broke, you know what I'm saying? Ain't got nowhere to live at, ain't got no business by themselves. But black women are some of the fastest fastest group of entrepreneurs. They're the most enrolled in college. They ain't the most graduated. Let me give y'all a little help, black women. Y'all are the most enrolled in college, and y'all are the most dropping out of college too. You know what I'm saying? They don't add that fact enough too. But anyway, what I'm saying is that if black women got all this stuff going for her, then why would they need $1 billion for their business? You would think that the black man would need their help. So you tell me, Diners, why would Goldman Sachs give that help to black women and exclude black men?
Well, it's not their job to provide for black men or to feed black men.
It's not their job. I give you that. But what I'm saying is for black men, if you see people are helping a group of people let me say it like this, and I know you're finna end the show. This is the funny part. If the funny part about black men is that if Goldman Sachs gave that $1 billion to black men will be sitting there like, well, okay, you know what? Now I'm in a position. Now I can do better things. Now I can do this for myself. I can be a better father. I can, even though if he's not gonna be there, I can spend more money. But it's black women that's saying, okay, this is our money, this for us. We want to be separate. The same way when Ice Cube tried to do that deal with the contract for black people, Black for America, it was black women be like, no, fuck the black community. What about black women? But I don't want to hear no deal about black men. What you got for black women? Don't you think that's a separate way of thinking, Diners?
Well, that's why countries in the third world they keep the women on a certain level, and they give things to the men because they have a certain order. Which in America they do the opposite, so companies could profit. So who's to say that these countries aren't poor for a reason? So their populations could increase, and they could maintain male order.
No, you know the difference between the United States and Africa, bro. Even though you right, but what you saying, it's false on this pretense because Africa don't abort babies like they do in America. Africa, they population is tripling. Their population is doubling. It's America where the black race under what you think about what you just said. Now, even think about it like this: with all the help that black women are getting over here in America, Diners, with all the subsidy that black women are getting in America, with all the Goldman Sachs is giving them $1 billion, with all the Democrat Party and BET talking about some black girl magic, our population is going down. So let's go with the other narrative. Let's say in Africa where there's, they put women on, a certain way, you know what I'm saying? But their population is doubling and tripling. Do you see the logic? Our numbers are going down, my brother, and it's clearly tension. You can tell it's tension. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
So what I'm saying is that where a country where the black woman is promoted, it's a natural tension because it's a natural fight against nature. It is no country in the world, it is no society in the world that the woman is put on a pedestal over the men. No other community does that. The thing about it is the black women allow this to happen. Because I tell you what, if it was the other way around and they said, hey, black men, we want y'all to separate against black women. We want y'all to have something for black men. Black men would not say, well, give us something just for us. When black men talk, we talk as a community, Dynas. Now, I know you don't agree with everything I say, Dynas, but you got to agree with this. Every black man that get on these platforms, we talk about black unity and black everything. You never hear a black man say, well, this is just for black men. How many times you ever heard a black man say, for as a black community, we need something particularly for black men? How many times you don't heard that, Dynas?
It's not in our nature.
Not often, but let's go ahead and close out. Everyone, thank you so much for joining. Like, share, subscribe. Until next time, family. Listen, I love my sisters. I love you all.
We go.
Listen, I don't care where you from, sisters. I love you all. Until next time, family. Search for Uhuru.
We gone. I care.